welcome to another video, and this is a pretty special one because we managed to 5-0 twice in April with the blue-white Dreadstill deck, and I have with me here Fox, who's gonna join me in a walkthrough of the two leagues, and we'll talk about the results. Welcome aboard, Fox.
Hey, how's it going?
It's all right.
So just really quickly, I think it's you have the first three games by yourself.
Yes.
I'm with you for the last two of the first 5-0.
Yes.
And you're all alone on the last 5-0.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So I have a little bit of help in the at the end of this league. Yeah, that's correct. So we are running two different versions of the deck. In the first one, we are running the staple one or whatever, but with the addition of March and all that since Neon Dynasty. But in the second one, we are doing the spicier 3 brainstorm and an extra land. You want to talk a little bit about the brainstorm idea? It's a bit controversial among our community, isn't it?
Yeah. I think a lot of people struggle with that concept. The thing is, what you really want to do in decks like these, especially when you don't have Ponder, is you want to minimize mulligans. That's kind of the biggest thing. And really the only thing that Brainstorm can ever find you is a land or interaction. Yes, it can find you a big Planeswalker or something to take over the game, but for the most part, you want a land or you want a piece of interaction, and, well, that's what Otawara is.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just kind of like watch through these leagues and just, I guess it'd be in the last league, every time you see the Otawara, ask if a Brainstorm there is better. And oftentimes I think you'll find, especially in opening hands, that Brainstorm is in fact not a better card than a land.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You've opened up my eyes to, the pointlessness of cantripping. You're basically just swapping one card for another, but you're just wasting mana and you don't progress the game's board state at all. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for us to cantrip that much.
Yeah, and so, cantripping, it's all about Xerox theory, right? It's playing too few lands and too many color requirements.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not doing either of those two things, you're not really doing yourself any favors with cantrips. There's also an issue with the meta right now where you have the Days Undoing acting like Mind Twist and Time Twister rolled together. So there's a ton of Narsets, so cantrips are especially questionable. Those Narsets are bringing on board D&T to play for Spirit of the Labyrinth. And then you have also the soon-to-be banned, I think, Echo of Eons, which is, again, more of the Mind Twist and Time Twister rolled into one. So there's just a lot of reasons that you don't want to be casting cantrips blindly, just do the whole Breacher Narset and, again, Spirit of the Lab.
And also another wrinkle to that is we don't care about Chalice that much either. We can ignore it. We probably want to get rid of it eventually, but it's not instrumental to our early game plan.
Correct.
So that's a big thing as well, because I see a lot of the decks that are being constructed right now in our community, at least, they are very weak to turn 1 Chalice.
Yeah, and that's when people are losing to that Kappa Cannoneer deck. The reason that they're losing is because their mana base, the viability of their mana base, is entirely tied to those cantrips being castable, because they're cheating on land totals, land colors. And so when you are obligated to fight with a Force of Will on a Chalice, you give the Kappa Cannoneer player all the agency, they can just let it go. And guess what? You're probably still going to die to it because they also play Emery.
Yeah.
And they're just going to buy it back.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll just get into a long-term state where you lost your Force of Will equity in that game, and you're never going to gain it back.
Yeah. All right. So let's watch through the first league, and then maybe we'll have some more things to say about the 3 Brainstorm deck or whatever, or any comments. But let's just roll through the games. And you stop me when you want to comment. We'll start with a starting hand and see in the blind game match 1. Perfect hand, yeah.
So Matt Foley is really quickly. Matt Foley is a known aggro lone player.
Mm-hmm.
Quite good at those kind of strategies.
Yeah.
This is a very good hand. 2 basics, a Wasteland and Stifle. This is everything we want.
Exactly. So I'm just gonna roll through here. Just keeping up the Stifle, we want to fetch a basic planes with the Flooded Strand, of course. So Vengevine, okay. So we Stifle
right here,
that.
this is a really good decision that you just made. Wait, he found a Vengevine off of that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, when they're looking 5 deep, this is the point where you probably know that they have a backup land. So yes, you could Stifle here and try to play that game, try to draw a different enabler.
Mm-hmm.
But I think letting this go and saying that a deck that plays, especially if they show you Vengevine, you don't play interaction, not in game 1.
Mm-hmm. So that's a Putrid Imp.
And yep, I like this Force of Will. It reduces all their velocity.
Exactly.
And at 12/12 now will take over, and unless they play cards that they don't actually have in their list, and they're 60, which is Trophy or Decay, and they're going to lose this race.
So it's all about identifying which games do we play Stifle not and which don't we.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually we don't.
Yep, and they're beyond it.
So that was a quick and fun one. Not much to say.
It's worth noting really quickly that although Matt's only had 1 land, despite the Once Upon a Time, when you see someone grabbing a Vengevine like that, after seeing 5 cards and having an opening hand, they decide to keep her mole, you should probably assume that if they're taking a creature, that they probably have a lot of lands in their hand.
Yeah.
And that this is an aberration.
Yeah, it must have been 5 weird cards for that to happen, I suppose, if he's a good player.
Maybe we're talking about, 13 cards before he was able to, and then he didn't see a land.
Yeah.
And he had the ability to keep his hand, so
let's go.
I definitely like the way he played Stifle there.
Yeah. Not our normal game plan, but against certain decks, that's fine. So let's talk a little bit about sideboarding. We brought in all the graveyard hate. The Tormod's Crypt, the Relic, the 4 Ashioks. We brought in the Humility.
Mm-hmm. So really quickly here, you do have an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you see a deck like theirs, it's Cabal Therapy time.
Yeah.
You always want 2 Force of Negations. You cut 2 Force of Wills.
Okay.
You split your names and you give yourself the ability to exile Cabal Therapy.
Yes.
The other thing I would say is that we left in this. Wait, we brought in a 3rd Scroll of Fate? No, good, it's still there.
Yeah.
The other thing is that Quick Dreadnought is actually one of your best win cons, so you still leave 1 of them in your deck, or leave 2 of them in your deck and 1 sideboard.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was a little bit of an overcommit there.
Yeah. It's just very hard. The Dreadnoughts are usually the first thing that comes out because there's a lot of cards we'd never touch when we sideboard, right? So Dreadnought is usually the thing that we that goes first.
The other thing to keep in mind here is that you also have Standstill in your deck.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely cut down 1 of those, and I'm kind of equal on whether or not you keep the last one in.
Yeah.
Just remember they're a Bloodbath deck, so they can just play discard hand size, play a land, and then suddenly you're playing a game you don't want to.
Sure. So another nice opening hand, and this time we have even the double Stifle, so we can mess with his mana, right?
Yep.
Possibly.
So we'll lead out with Odawara here, ideally.
So he finds a cavern.
We don't have a way to plow, and we don't want to fetch a blue to stifle him.
So this time we can't do anything about it. So he starts discarding and plays a what's it called? The artifact. This
Hollow
one.
one?
Hollow one, yeah.
Yeah, we can still beat that. We still got time.
Yeah.
And he's
So
down to one card in hand. So yeah.
so Otawara and
Yeah, and it has to be. Yeah,
oh
so this is the problem.
mm,
If you have to stifle him like this, right? Like
yeah.
this is now a problem because we are one turn away from white, one further turn. Now, Timeless Dragon still is the white mana for us. It's just we have to sidestep to get it.
No, that's fair.
So yeah, so like we would ideally like to have Otawara in play. That stance that we drew would have been like a Sword of Plowshares. Like we wanted that to be unlocked.
Yeah. So here comes a Timeless Dragon cycle.
And being stuck on one land, he's basically dead.
So there's the
Screen
verdict.
Verdict will make sure of it.
So how would you play this?
I would just Deferium and bounce the 4/4.
Seems like I agree with you. So to ferry down. So here we stand still. Since we have we have the shark.
Remember that their guy can become a 2/2 pretty easily
Mm-hmm.
in this spot. But yeah, otherwise you're going to be just fine. You also have a dragon to make. And you can hold up a 2/2 shark, or you can make a dragon. I don't think it matters at all.
Now this game is more or less over.
This game's getting out of hand for him.
Yeah. So he cycled the hollow one. And sure.
Oh wait, so I saw Otawara. What did we do here? How did we get this Otawara in here? What did we cut? This wasn't a 3 brainstorm league, was it?
No, because I already made the swap from 2 Hall of Storm Giants to 1.
Oh, right.
I tried that for the last few leagues. Before this, I tried that, and I kind of liked Otawara. It's a very versatile land.
Mm-hmm.
So here comes.
Yeah, here just looking at our hand at these 3 brainstorms. Let's say that Otawara is a Hall of Storm Giants, which it is in the new version. Imagine if one of these brainstorms was an Otawara. Are we better off for it? The answer is, of course, yes.
Yes. So Safekeeper, great.
Yeah, he's gonna get verdicted pretty quick here.
And here comes the Hogak. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. It's a big boy.
Yeah. So we smack him for 4 and we wipe the board. And
Correct.
yeah. So he's just screwed.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we can do. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think all paths lead to victory here.
Yeah. So I mean he has Avenge fine, we plow it. We just have all the cards, right? So whatever he does, we can answer it at this stage.
Yeah. And then you can wish for it, or you just, brainstorm into the Dreadnought. I was going to say you can Karn wish.
Yeah.
That's still a thing whenever we get the Karn.
We're kind of lucky to find the one Dreadnought then, I guess.
Yep. But, again, you could hard cast Shark type and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
This is just absolutely a good game. No, we play.
And he has a final Hail Mary to snuff out, and we kill that, and
yeah,
it's over.
Yep.
Okay, so that was the first game. You wanted me to play the Humility just to show him what's what.
Yeah, like why not? Why wouldn't you play the Humility there? Just to make sure they can't have some kind of crazy play. And you're just like, every turn I can make a 2/2 or a 1/1 under Humility. And you're at 2 life. You can't fetch anymore. You don't have any grave crawlers in your graveyard.
Yeah.
So
that was the first one, and then we have a match against Patty. I don't remember what the the opponents were now, but we'll see. So let's look at the starting hand. We win the die roll. It's fine.
Seems like a reasonable hand.
Yeah. And what
so you have to lead with the island to make sure that you can plane cycle.
Mm-hmm. Seems like I agreed with you.
We'll see what the opponent does, make our choice on this brainstorm if we want to fire it off.
Ponder, sure.
Yeah.
So that signals Delver in a real...
It could be anything. If we know it's Delver for sure, I think that just for mana efficiency, we brainstorm. But yeah, I'm fine with holding the brainstorm. Try and use it with a Timeless Dragon shuffle on our upkeep or something.
And here the preordain is kind of like, okay, so this could be something else. Possibly.
Yeah. Yeah, so now you're basically in the realm of either it's a combo deck or it's Phoenix.
But some Delver decks still play preordain, right?
I wouldn't think so with iteration. I don't think they can have the slots to do that.
Okay.
So right there, really quickly, I think that was a suboptimal play. I think that there you want to cast a brainstorm, and I think that in your upkeep you want to snap off your Timeless Dragon to shuffle.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
So to get
slight optimization.
Yeah. To create sort of a fetch land effect. Shuffle. Shuffle. Yeah. Sure. So here we see that something else.
Yep, now we know it's Show and Tell. Ancient Tomb and Petal tell us that. Let me see. It is, yes, a good time to brainstorm. Doing that's also fine. I'm also fine with that.
Okay, Show and Tell resolves. We put in the Caracas, I guess.
Yeah.
And Emrakul. Game over.
Correct.
Yeah,
so like right there, you're out. That's one argument for brainstorm at either of those points, either the end of turn optimization or with Show and Tell on the stack, is that you can find blue card and stifle or something. You can find that second piece of interaction.
Yeah. In the end, it didn't matter since you had two fatties, so we were kind of screwed. So let's see game 2, and let's have a look at the sideboarding. So we brought in Humility, we brought in the Mastery, the Ashioks.
I think Mastery might be a little bit excessive against Show and Tell.
Yeah.
I like that you're bringing out two swords. Oh, you didn't bring in Porphyry. Porphyry is a card you bring in.
Yeah.
It's decent to drop that in, especially against Sneak and Show off of Show and Tell. Yeah, we should be down to one plow in the deck.
Yeah. No, that's fair. All right, so let's.
Then, one Dreadnought versus two. It's pretty close. I would generally err on the side of two, just because of the higher upside to dropping in a Scroll of Fate.
So this is a funny one.
This hand is fine.
Yeah.
I think it's worth gambling down a game that they will die to a Wasteland.
Yes.
And your mana's perfect.
Yeah, the mana is great. Dragon is really a great card for us.
Yeah. And we also have the Otawara, which has long-term implications.
So I did play the Otawara because I didn't want to show him a Wasteland yet.
Yeah. And that could have been a Hall of Storm Giants.
Yeah.
In the new version, that would be a Hall. So they're not doing anything. It's like, all right, well, let's take you to the Wasteland town. But yeah, we have to cycle. Cycle for mana efficiency is always correct. It also makes sure they can't Blood Moon you.
Stifle is great. That's just beautiful. That means he's down to 0 mana.
And so again, right here at this point in the game, again, just to hallucinate, the Otawara is in fact our second Hall of Storm Giants. Notice how it came into play untapped, but also notice that how for the rest of the game, we're going to want to top deck an Otawara more than we are a Brainstorm.
Yeah. And
That's fine.
this game is just he never recovers from this brutal line because he probably brainstorm locked himself, so that's great. So third game, it's, if I remember correctly, it's sort of a repeat of game 2. So hand 1 is not
that. But again, in this hand, good hand to look at, right?
Yeah.
If one of those brainstorms with an Odawara, we're a little bit happier with the hand. We can actually consider it.
Yeah, definitely. But for now, no. But this is
in this hand, yeah,
it's
it's
okay.
reasonable.
I mean, it's not great, but it's fine.
Yeah. The other thing you have to remember with March is that it doesn't take a huge amount to exile a sneak attack. Right. All you need is one more white card and a white mana. You can just nuke a sneak attack.
And here, him playing a basic mountain signals a lot, right?
Yeah. He's what is he doing with that? He's trying to get up to mana to pay for days and stuff like that. So yeah, let's play a fetch land. We'll grab our basic island first. That's going to be critical because we have the basic plains off the timeless.
And my thinking was, he played a basic mountain. He doesn't have a lot of blue mana. So if I go after the petal, he's going to be screwed. So I actually go for basic plains and I hit the petal.
Okay.
And
yeah, that's another line. That one's fine. I'm okay with that.
And now he has to brainstorm in my turn. And he gets brainstorm locked. That was pretty sweet.
Yep.
I just felt like basic mountain is a sign of weakness. Sorta.
Yeah, so again, it's a good play to, yeah. I think there's merit to both lines, right? You can let it go on for a little bit and so you get an extra white card in your hand and you like have this answer for sneak attack. They're probably not going to be able to show and tell you next turn. What they would need a soul land, they would need a petal, and then they would have to have their red blast in hand to protect it.
Yeah.
Not that we could fight over it, but yeah, I don't know. I think the more I think about it, the more I like nuking the petal aggressively.
So another target for the wasteland. And he never comes back. And we find another one. So.
Yeah, this is a little bit risky, but it's fine. Because you took down the stifle shields.
Yes.
I don't know that one turn made a difference.
Well, I figured he didn't have blue. So he couldn't have a soul land and a blue. Well, he could.
I see.
Yes, I felt kinda safe, but so I don't really care about the defense grid. I just wasteland him and start beating. Yeah, I can pay for it, and I can kill it end of turn if I want. So I figured a standstill here is gonna seal the deal. So that was my 2 wins were basically us playing the land destruction game, which is one of the ways we can play the game. So that was pretty sweet. And then the last one that I played without your help. So let's see. So against Nagiv, and we are on the play again. And not a great one, but we do have the stifle to protect our tundra.
Yeah, this one's fine.
Yeah, and he's playing with, he has Jorion, so most likely death and taxes. So no vial on 1, that's good. So another tundra.
And now we've got dress down if they try to go for a stone forge.
Okay.
Thalia.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Thalia is just fine.
So plow.
Mm-hmm.
So I aggressively went for the port.
I think that that's reasonable.
I mean, constraints his options a little bit anyway. So I'm taking the
Yeah.
2, waiting for to see if he does something else.
That's the correct line.
Because now we
And we
can
will save our
stifle.
mana. Thank you very much.
I mean, we can take 2 for a while.
Yep. And again, we're just saying don't get wastelanded.
Okay, so here's our opportunity to plow. So let's do it. And the 3rd mana, great.
So everything's going to plan here. Spirit of the Labyrinth. Oh no! If only there was some way to draw a card.
Yeah.
Again, if you are playing cards like Ponder, where the Stifle is, and Brainstorm, and that's where your mana is coming from, this is a must-kill card.
Would you have cycled at the end of the turn, or do you want to ambush?
No, you want to set up the trap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you always want the value. So we go here, discard your Sword to Plowshares opponent. Okay, we can do this too.
Yeah, I don't know what I reason.
The thing I like about this is you keep up the. I think they played a land there, but you keep up protection from Wasteland, which if they had not played a land yet would be the right play.
So here I decide to dress down just to stop him from
that's
drawing.
That's the correct choice. Hit our best card.
And we found an island and a Teferi. I decide to not.
Teferi Mount.
You're fine with it?
Oh. Yeah, just it wastes so much mana out of them.
Yeah.
Like, what are they going to do? Find a Skyclave that we're going to force, or we'd even let Skyclave go. You know, I don't care if they upgrade it to Teferi into an Elk for us.
Here I stifle the trigger, I think. Maybe I don't. Nope.
Stifle for mana? I don't think so. I think that you're much more likely to win by stifling a Solitude or a Skyclave. Stifling the card that matters.
Yeah. So I go
Making
for
a 2/2. At least we're using our mana, which is what's important.
So we have infinite stifles, wasteland, sure. Now we can hard cast Force of Will. And we're not bleeding out anymore anyway, for the moment.
Yeah. And right there, again, I would probably play a Teferian plus just for mana efficiency. I mean, now you have to hard cast a Force of Will, which is still fine. It ends up working.
Yeah. And the 3rd Recruiter, fine. And another Stoneforge, yes. So we can hard cast.
So he's going to waste another 2 mana.
Yeah.
Cast your Stoneforge. Oh.
This time.
Force of Will.
Yeah, I guess I saved the Force of Will for the next one. I don't know what I'm thinking really, but we're holding down the fort anyway. But he could have drawn the one of the equipment, which would have been problematic.
Yeah, because then they can flicker it. Like, you can stifle the germ, but you just don't have the technology to beat it.
So a Cathar Commando, sure.
So we are going to bounce what we can. That's fine. They can't stop us. Yeah, we have to brainstorm here.
Plow is nice.
Yeah, plow's real decent. We can get rid of the Stoneforge, and we should be doing that right now. Yeah, Yeah, I would not let them untap with the Stone Forge.
Okay.
There are some really good lines with Stifle here, where you could eat their creature, stifle the Jite, if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they all attacking? Who's attacking Teferi? Who's attacking what? Okay.
All at Teferi.
Wow, that's quite the commit.
So Teferi's dead anyway.
Yeah, so you can just go ahead and plow their other recruiter before it gets anything. You can save it for Mom. Saving it for Mom is probably better.
Yeah, I don't remember how I played this. I think I went for the line you described. Like the Jite, I figured in a winning game it won't matter that much.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the opponent. I guess they're playing around days with their Mother of Runes.
Yeah. So Yorion to hand.
Yeah.
He didn't attack. And I
kill Mother of Runes. And this is going to be a stifle on the Yorion trigger. They're going to kill themselves.
Well, I think I hard cast the. I counter.
You can still hard cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dislike the tapping job. There should be 2 islands up.
Mm-hmm.
Basic islands. But yeah, you have the ability to stifle Yorion return to play.
I think I just pitch forced the Yorion. I don't want to deal with it in play since he has a Caracas.
Yeah, so right there, I'm just going to stop you right there. One of the biggest things right there is you actively want him to resolve that Yorion because he is very likely to put all 4 of his creatures into exile because they all have beneficial ETBs.
Yeah.
So then he goes to his end step, he goes, 1 trigger to bring back 4 things, and you go, stifle?
Oh, you can stifle the return trigger.
Yeah.
Ah, I did not know that.
Yeah, so they're very likely to just kill themselves.
So you just exile everything. Okay, that's cute.
Yep.
Good call. So here I block, even though I know I will lose my dude, but you know, he'll have to use all his counters and all that.
Okay.
So we're basically just looking for a sweeper here to finish the game. That's not great, but we'll bring back a...
You gotta use it for your mana. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Sure. And that's a reasonable block.
I mean, it uses his resources anyway.
Yep. And he was just gonna kill your shark anyhow. Yep, Mother of Runes.
And sweeper. Yes.
Bang. Wait long enough, you'll draw it.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? And we still have Force of Negation up. I counter it because we really don't have a lot of targets in this matchup.
Yeah, that's...
well, maybe...
at this point, actually, that's a punt.
Yeah.
Because Cauldron is Cauldron is castable, so you definitely want to let him have that, I think.
Mm-hmm. Sky Clay, we have a Hull.
Yeah, good luck GDing a 7/7 with Ward 3.
Yeah, what I should have done is, before playing it, I should have killed it with the Wasteland.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah, we bounce the... Yeah, you do that, you bounce the creature. Either one works.
Well, I figured, you know, the creature can actually exile the Teferi afterwards.
Yeah, it's just that I think we kind of want that, don't we?
Yeah, sure. So here we have the Karn plus Scroll of Fate, which is kind of nice.
Yep. Let's see. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Karn minus, but then with the Scroll of Fate, I was like, pretty sure we Karn minus here.
So what do we
we're in
get?
Game 1.
would you get?
Yeah, so we'll grab. It could be a couple of different things. They have 2 cards left in their hand.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's a really strong reason here for you to grab Cursed Scroll,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just name Scroll of Fate and you kill their guy because they can't pump with the G-Tech, and then nothing else they can cast will always be summoning 6. So they have to exile your Cursed Scroll before they do anything else. So I think that's reasonable. I think that wishing for a Torpor Orb is reasonable-ish. You'll take 2. You're trading a little bit down on Karn. Yeah, you can also grab a Torpor Orb. I probably grab Cursed Scroll and activate.
Okay. I think I went for the EE. No, I went for the Torpor. Sure.
Yeah, EE just costs Karn more loyalty, right? Because you can't get it on 3.
Yeah. Brainstorm's nice here. And
Can't flash in their guy. Nice.
That's not bad.
Seems perfect.
Yeah. So I decide that I wanna march first, just to be safe, to save the Karn, to keep the GT relevant, and then for next turn we can just use the Dreadnought.
Yeah, and this is fine. Just boop.
Alright, so here we go. And now there's just nothing else he can do, right?
Correct. Yeah, he's toast. Every time he kills the Dreadnought, we'll just wish it back from exile.
Yeah, and since all of his effects are exile effects, it doesn't really matter.
And now you got 2/2s to block for the Solitude, so he can't even ambush you anymore. Sure.
So get back the same Dreadnought from exile.
Yeah, here, honestly, I would have probably gotten a liquid metal coating just to make sure they could never cast Cauldron.
Okay.
I think that's probably kind of where you want to be. You just go. I guess it would be Crucible. No. Crucible doesn't do it as well. It's liquid metal, and then you go Wasteland your Caracas, port your planes, and then start working on his mana, get him below 7 mana.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think all paths kind of lead to victory here.
Yeah. Up to 30 life. So the main concern I had here was the clock, really. Because we're down to 13 minutes.
And so now, finally, we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. We are 1 mana away from exiling a Cauldron straight up.
Yeah. But we can kill the germ token, right?
We can what?
Kill the germ token, and since
Oh,
Karn
no. You don't do that. Not at 8 mana. 8 mana, you kill Cauldron. You just get that thing out of the game and you understand. No more.
But either way, if we don't have that much mana, we can just kill the germ. Since we have Karn in play, he can't really use it afterwards.
Yeah.
So we were pretty safe. So here we just boop him with 2/2. Yeah, so I mean this game is over. So we get rid of Flicker Wisp just because he's a flyer. And now we have a shark. All is well in the world. And he can't keep up. Yeah.
I guess the one other thing to note here against Cauldron, so it's good to hit that again. Yeah, you're right, that if you just pay 1 mana, exile the germ and the Karn's there, they can't equip it anymore.
Yeah.
They can't Flicker Wisp it because of the Torpor Orb. Right, so they can never reset it. So that's pretty important. The other thing, though, that should be remembered is that if that card was a Sword to Plowshares, we would just go Karn +1 on the Cauldron, and then we would plow it to get rid of it from the game. The other thing that we could do is we could go +1 on the Karn, on the Cauldron, and that would kill the germ. Cauldron is a 7/7 indestructible with no other text. It is allowed to attack at Karn, but it is a legendary creature, so at that point you can Caracas it if you had a Caracas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's pretty sweet. All right, and then we lost a game to get Texas. Let's see what this looks like. Oops, not keepable.
No, this is not great, but it is better. We can't pitch. We have to pitch a screw. Let me see here. You need the verdict. You need to be able to go force pitch force. So it has to be the Scroll of Fate. That's the only card you can throw back because your whole plan here is force something relevant, maybe find a window for standstill.
Yeah. And I decided that double force, maybe not. I don't know. So here we
so now this is force pitch standstill.
Yeah. But we are down to 4 cards. So this is problematic.
It'll be important to see what he does on his next turn, because if this is not a Stoneforge Mystic, or like even a Thalia, we would consider doing a standstill on him here.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're pretty far behind, but we would have considered even I guess we couldn't do a standstill right now.
Yeah, now we get stuck under a port. So things are looking bad. We find a lot of water.
As long as we're drawing lands, but
yeah,
we're probably dead. And we still need 2 white sources.
Now he has to double the port, so I get rid of 1.
Yeah. And I think right here, basically, the only thing you're going to do is either just scoop or just keep hitting to make them waste time.
Yeah. Problem is that
just to make sure you have enough in the matchup.
Yeah. But we don't draw the lands. We find a brainstorm that I can't cast because of the Thalia, of course. And here's a Cathar Commando. So he's putting in pressure. And we can brainstorm. And I don't know why I do it, because I think no matter what I do, I'm dead anyway, so.
Yeah.
So this is basically how Death and Taxes wins against you. Screw you on mana.
It really doesn't have anything to do with what they draw. It's all about how many lands. Like, Mana Screw is their only win con. Is for our deck to not draw lands.
Yeah.
It's not a great look for D&T.
Not at all, not at all. But we finished, so we have 11 minutes for game 3, which is nice. Well, enough anyway. So let's see our starting hand, game 3, what it looks like. Maybe we should just have a look at the sideboarding decisions as well. It's a great starting hand. And sideboard, humility, mastery, Torpor Orb, yeah. I think
you run it in here to Explosives rather than Keg because of Thalia's Sunburst.
So we took out a Standstill, the 2 Force of Negations, again 2 Dreadnoughts. So more or less what we should. So this seems great. So we'll just lead on a Flooded Strand, I guess.
Yeah. Flooded Strand is good. Get your basic white. They can't port you if you have a 2-mana play.
And I kind of want to draw land so I don't crack.
I agree with that assessment.
Spirit,
That's
sure.
fine. And yeah, we will plow definitely for mana value.
Just to keep the mana flowing. And how would you play this one?
Oh, this one's you're definitely slamming a Scroll of Fate on him. You can buy back a land, that's also fine, but like honestly, I would rather just Scroll of Fate, have them wipe it with a Skyclave, and then just verdict them. And have a 3/3 that they have to deal with.
I think I was kind of burnt from the last game where I didn't have my mana, so I went for the buyback lands.
Yeah, and this is a fine play too. And this says if you don't draw Thalia and put it onto the field into our Caracas, we are going to recur Savines yet again.
So we did draw it, but we have the Caracas now, so we can just waste his time.
Yeah, I think here you're probably supposed to cast the Scroll of Fate.
Mm-hmm.
Just to kind of incentivize them to play into that verdict with their Sanctum Skyclave apparition. Too many guys with similar names: Sanctum Prelate, Skyclave.
Yeah. So you brought in Yorion, we bounced Thalia, now we have a hard cast Force of Will if we wanted, and now we decide to play the scroll.
And you kind of saw a lot of mana die last turn.
Mm-hmm.
And now this turn, if we would have used that mana, we could have potentially had up a Force of Will here.
So he counsels judgments, and I decide to not force it. Put in a land.
And this is good because it'll waste his removal spell.
Thalia.
Thalia, A-okay.
So by Thalia. And he evokes the
This
Solitude.
is a huge waste of resources.
Yeah, this is incredible. That's great for us. But he's scared of the Dreadnought, eh?
I guess.
All is nice.
Yeah, we get some more lands. We can hold up a Force of Will here. We're doing good. I'm liking life.
So we can
Oh my goodness, look at this. The big play.
Yeah. So we just
Ooh,
hard.
like a hard cast force. Big fat no.
Yeah. And we still have hardcast force, whatever he does. I mean, we're not doing much, but we're not losing either.
Yeah, we're not casting Savines here because we only have one permanent in our graveyard.
Yeah. There's not a lot of value in that. So Ascanta is nice.
And Ascanto is just incredibly dangerous to them.
Yeah, it's a killer. So Thalia, great.
The opponent's circling the drain. Very nice.
Would you have
So if we were to draw a Wasteland, we'd probably just kill the Thalia here once and for all with like Wasteland your Caracas. And then verdict you.
Yeah.
That's fine. And again, the reason we're doing this with impunity is because even if they wasteland our Caracas, we'll just buy it back with Savines. It's not going anywhere.
We were just waiting for our Karn or whatever to set it straight. Torpor is great.
Correct. Yeah. And then you've got the ability to wipe that vial off the face of the earth. So pay for your spells, opponent.
And now you have nothing.
Yeah, and now they have to waste cards to kill the 3/3 that they gave us, or the 2/2 they gave us.
And for some reason I decided to kill the vial. It's probably not.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
They don't have mana for Calter yet. Their only card in hand is the Thalia.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a Savines for next turn. Like you're doing just fine. Again, a draw hating spell that isn't going to do anything to us. Nice hate card. If only it were good.
So here we start slamming.
Yeah.
We're gonna get this game over with.
Yeah. And here by waiting on the Savines, you're just saying that again they really can't manipulate our lands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they wasteland our hall, we'll just buy it back. Wasteland Caracas, same thing.
Here we go for the...
They're looping on board here. So yeah, stand still. Oh, okay, I see we're getting lands to cast the standstill. It's perfectly reasonable.
Hold on. Ja?
Jag kan inte ladda ner något där då?
Jo.
Går det bra?
Det går bra.
Okej, tack. Hej.
Tack, hej. Pinne var i håret. Alright, so let's see. So we get back lands. I don't remember what we do here. I don't
Yep, and then we
cross
just
the
kind of cast a
standstill.
stand because they're so far behind on board, or we don't for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Um,
Probably.
oh, I know why. They're ahead on board if they draw a wasteland. That would have been a bad thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're holding up our Force of Will, which is correct. That would have been a bad standstill, and this is game over.
Yeah. So now we can make tokens. Yeah, so this game is just a technicality
Yeah,
at this point.
we should be fetching aggressively at this point, just to thin the deck.
I don't think it matters what we do though.
No. They are done. This is too much power every single turn.
Here we go for a big shark.
Sure.
And they give up. So far it's been pretty clean magic. Maybe some decisions could have been different. And then enter you for the fourth game. So let's see. I don't remember what we were playing against, but we have a nice starting hand.
That sounds really good.
Yeah. So they mull. Unfortunately, it would been so good to be on the play, but whatever. So it's oops.
On the mulligan, this will be the perfect hand.
So
Congratulations, your last card is randomly back to negation.
yeah. So that's
Yeah.
the game. And
So
then-
again, like right there, what other decks cannot do is if any deck in that position, blue deck is pretty much going to lose unless you have two Force of Wills.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to understand. But in our deck, a deck with Stifle, it's very easy to win games like those with just being on the play, getting a land down, having the Stifle up, and then the Force of Will and another blue card is going to increase your odds against that deck drastically.
No, for sure. And I had against Oops, I had one of the most beautiful stifles. Was stifling the what's it called, the bridge trigger when he had his three, what are they called, the narcomoebas in play. So he sacked one to cast the what's it called, the discard spell, cabal therapy, and I stifled the trigger, so he only had two narcomoebas in play and he couldn't do anything. That was pretty funny. So this one is not keepable, of course. This one is tempting, but not keepable.
Yep.
Or did we keep
We'll
it?
mulligan.
Yeah, we'll mulligan.
They even got land.
Yeah.
So this is reasonable.
So what
Cards
do
we
we
don't like here are Plowshares and Brainstorm.
really?
You can pitch a Force Negation and keep a Force of Will. That's fine. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get rid of. I would say it's a Plowshares and a Force Negation.
So let's see what we do. So we actually, we sent the brainstorm. That's funny.
Yeah. And that's reasonable because it gives you an extra layer of protection if you're flooding out on blue cards. Again, that Brainstorm, if that was an Otawara, we would have been much happier with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, choose your adventure, opponent.
Yeah, this is fine. He probably takes the stifle, right? No, he went for the force of will.
Should be. But...
Okay.
So now we have a plan. Get the Canada's down.
And there we go.
Look at that.
And that's the game, basically.
Yep.
And he kills the Eatersworn, and then we get the next hate card.
The hits keep coming.
Yeah.
Just one more land, and we have our win con, Scroll of Fate. Hey, there it is.
Yep. So the sad part is it's not really magic. These against oops, is it?
Yeah.
So now, I mean, how can he win?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, fire off your. And yeah, I think we said we were keeping that around
Yeah.
for Karn, just to be doubly sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's perfectly reasonable to play it like that.
Yeah, I
don't
think
think
we
that
had
you would do it
quite
kind
a
of.
discussion about it because I think my inclination would have been to just nuke, but I think you had a discussion that we wanted the land more than him.
Yeah. And again, it turns all of our top decks live.
Mm-hmm. I think that's reasonable. And basically,
And now we have force negation and hard cast dress down. That's why, and again, that's another advantage of it, right? Now we have double protection.
and humility, and we
Yeah,
decide
we should,
not
yeah,
to play it. I think, or do we? No.
yeah, you can hold it because of force of vigor, because they can't really take the dress down from you.
Yeah.
Or yeah, we can just beat them down to death. That's also fine. And this means they can't shock in one of their super shocks.
And here we just put.
Find the right time to wave its land.
Yeah. So it's not much to say. I mean, it's just such a stupid matchup.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't. It's hard to understand why you play. Oops.
I mean, yeah, it's
a mulligan check,
it's a
isn't
good
it?
way to win money, but it doesn't work in paper. It doesn't work in tournament structure.
No. So this one is okay, not great.
Great.
You think it's great?
I don't know. I think this hand is like super reasonable, right? You have to remember that your oops players, especially if they're bringing in Thoughtseize and Force of Vigor, like their deck is garbage. Like they diluted it with a lot of variance.
Mm-hmm.
And here you've got a dress down and a force negation, and you got your mana fixed.
Sure.
I think this is a good hand.
It loses
and
turn
Standstill's
one.
an easy hit card.
Yeah.
I think when I was originally assessing this hand in real time, I think I didn't see the standstill. I was like, oh, we can't. I thought that was a land for whatever reason. And
Mhm.
if standstill's a land, then we're like, oh shit, we can't keep this.
An opponent mulls to 4 because it's a stupid deck.
Yeah.
And he has a Santid
Ooh.
Swarm, sure. And I don't know, did we bring out all the swords? No. We have 3 still.
No, I'm sure we are.
Yeah. Sure, we can't cast spells, that's fine. Brainstorm,
Brainstorm's pretty good.
yeah.
Pretty good. Go back. Yeah, we'll want to draw that humility for sure.
So we are, this is the last turn we are shields down, right? And we can bounce.
I believe that is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because this will get to fairy bounce. And then they can no longer force a vigorous, so this is, again, force a vigor is not exactly a good free spell. Some pretty significant drawbacks.
Yeah. And here we go for the humility and game over.
Yeah, they failed the nature's claim test.
Yeah, that's funny actually, how we are insulated now.
Mm-hmm. And there's Antid's a 1/1, but it can't ever kill a Teferi. And the reason we plow there is not because we care about the Xantid, it's so that Teferi can pick up the standstill later on and we can redeploy it.
Yeah. So that was pretty sweet. 4-0. And then final game. Let's see, that was against Jose. I don't remember this one either. So let's see.
I think this was another combo. I thought this was 4 combo this league.
Maybe show and tell.
I
Again.
think that sounds right.
Nice hand.
Yeah, it's a great hand. Exactly what we want to see. Got plenty of things to do on 2 mana. And a wasteland if we want.
So snow covered island. So most likely show and tell.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're playing Snow Covered Island and advertising that.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
No, and if you're gonna play show and tell, you're doing it for the ugly island art, and that's not a terrible island art. Although I will give them like that's an ugly volcanic.
It's horrible. I don't understand why they reprinted it like that or whatever.
Yeah.
So just for efficiency, we get a plains.
Yeah, and we're doing the basic planes there just in case they have Blood Moon, and we drew a verdict that was somehow relevant.
Well, we don't know for sure what they're on yet. We just assume.
Right.
So
And
here,
this is a Teferi Titorak.
yeah. Do you want to force? So he brainstorms and don't remember. Yep, here's the force. Sure, omniscience gone.
Now we know what we're up against. And we've made him pitch his best card. Though they probably have more. That's usually why they pitch an omniscience.
So here comes the first. No, here comes the sneak attack. So we're kind of obliged to force it since we are not ready.
Yeah. And I agree with the force of negation here. And they're down to 3 cards. It's pretty tough for them to have what they need.
Here comes the Karn, wishing for
Yeah.
whatever.
If anyone wastelands there, you're not playing Magic correctly. I think a lot of people can't resist the urge.
So
Yeah.
talk a little bit. I've talked about it with you, but why the Canonist? So
Oh, yeah. So Canonist is an effect that we actively want to have in play, which is it's kind of funny because people will try and bring in Deafening Silence and Canonist against us, which is just completely useless. Canonist is there because it stops elves. It is there because if Doomsday tries to cast a Thassa, even if it's uncounterable, they just cast a colored spell and they can't force a will or stifle anymore. Right, so it's good there as well.
and against show and tell, if he resolves a show and tell, puts in an omniscience, his turn is over. Yeah, they're done.
Yeah, so those are kind of the big matchups why you want, and of course it beats up on Storm. It's just a very good card.
And it's great for, it works very well with Scroll of Fate as well. Because he can start his turn. So we just get a Crucible to start going after his lands.
Yeah, so Crucible the Torak, and you counter this. You did. Congratulations. And again, don't cast Canonist, worst thing that anyone could do. And you go, okay, here's a Canonist. Nice Bristlebrand. It's a very good card. Unfortunately, it's dead.
And we plowed in response, so you can draw any more.
Yep, and he also, because of the Canonist, they can't counter it because they've already cast Show and Tell for the turn.
Yeah.
So that's just a game-winning play right there. And then we'll just force a will their next play while we're nibbling them to death. Again, here you do not waste. I mean, if you're going to waste anything, you waste the Volcanics, not the Ancient Tomb, while they're this low on life. Art cast Omni.
Yeah. So that's forced. And he can't protect it, which is nice. And he's helping us out with his tombs. Okay, bye. Brainstorm is nice.
And here we get to cash in the card.
Yeah, for a scroll, right?
Yes. Yep, has to be scroll. That is the card.
And that's the nice thing for us. We can play a lot. We can play more than one spell in our deck.
Yep.
So it's down to 7, so no more draws for you.
And his turn's over.
And his life is over because of the Dreadnought, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So that's the first game. Easy money, and he resolved the Grizzlebrand and drew with it, and still the Canonists just shut him down.
Yeah. That's the thing. If you play Karn, even I would say even if you don't have an easy way to make white mana, I still think you need to have the Canonist for show and tell. The other card you almost certainly are going to want in your sideboard is a Tormod's Crypt. Liquid Metal is another obligatory spot. As far as Lattice goes, it is very bad in decks without soul lands. Don't waste a sideboard slot on that.
No, I totally agree. You need to be able to make a ton of mana to make that happen. So do you like this one?
Ironclad mana.
I'm sorry? Do you
I
like
said
it?
right here we've got Ironclad mana.
Yeah.
We have access to our basic white. Our hand is entirely white. So even if they Blood Moon us, we'll have plenty of time to draw towards a blue source,
Mm-hmm.
a basic blue.
And there we go. We find it straight away.
Yeah. And notice how we are playing around Blood Moon by playing Vista, and we are not going to lose to like a Lotus Petal Blood Moon there. We're going to have our colors.
And for some reason we fetched the planes, but
yeah, that's kind of questionable.
I don't know why we played
I
the
guess
Canonist.
the is that we're still colorless and we still have double white pips.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess we didn't play around the Blood Moon.
But
Here.
I mean, the biggest part of the Blood Moon, right, is just making sure that you don't have a Blood Moon resolve on you while you have a fetch in your hand that you could have played.
Mm-hmm. So this is interesting.
So
How would you play this one?
let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Have that. Have that. So Timeless for a Tundra is the safest against a Lotus Petal sneak attack. A Savine's does effectively the same thing, but it doesn't pay for days. But it does give us access to another basic. I don't think there's a lot of reason to leave up March. But let's see. I think at the end of the day, I leave up March and Stifle.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go Timeless Dragon, tapping my 2 colorless lands. Let me double check this. Yeah, okay, so it's I would leave up Plains for March.
Mm-hmm.
I would tutor up a Tundra.
Mm-hmm.
So we're tapping the waste, we're tapping the Hall, and then we have March up, and we have Stifle up, so we can beat a sneak attack and a Lotus Petal type of draw.
Okay. So let's see what we did. We decided to go for the Wasteland. That's interesting. Intuition.
Wasteland also kind of works, right? It puts a lot of strain on their hand. They have to have now a Soul Land and 2 petals,
Yeah.
right, to be able to sneak attack us. So it's an intermediate move. It's perfectly reasonable to do this as well.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But yeah, I think that Savine's, Timeless, and Wasteland all kind of get you to the same place.
I guess we
Timeless
were
has-
feeling very safe against the show and tell since we have the humility.
Yeah.
So show and tell, sure, you can have a show and tell.
Yeah. We'll put in humility. Nice
Oh no, I won one. The only sad part is that we unlocked the Canonist. We locked the Canonist, rather.
Yeah. The thing is, though, it's not really a bad thing, because to kill us, they have to unlock the humility, or they have to get rid of the humility, and if they deal with humility, then
Yeah.
they just unlock the Aethersworn and they ended their turn.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not
Yeah.
like there's a good answer for them.
So we get back a land, because now we can send the Emrakul packing if need be.
Looks like it to me.
So now we just see if he wants to force.
they're allowed to do this because it will. Oh, nice. Sure. So we got a card out of their hand.
Yeah, and they're gonna red blast, I suppose.
Yep, and that's fine. Like, we have a Savines in the graveyard.
So we wanna go after his red mana. So we find a liquid metal.
Yeah, so that's an important part right there, is that we are not going after Takiri and the Necro thing, even though there's a lot of value there. It's more important to lock down their red source.
Yeah. So now he's playing without red mana, which is a lot easier for us. And he just packs it in, and that's the first 5-0. It was a pretty weird league. A lot of combo decks. So and I mean, combo, we are well set up against combo, but we can still certainly lose. They have their nutty turn 1 draws and all that, but felt very safe, sorta. I guess we had 2 show and tells.
I was going to say, like, Stifle is supposed to eat combo decks alive. Having Force of Will and Stifle, and the fact that you probably do a combo that's better than them anyways,
Yeah,
generally makes it pretty hard for combo decks to beat us.
sure. And we have the extra 2 force effects as well, with Force of Negation, which also helps out. But all in all, felt kind of good.
Yep.
So next league we are doing the experimental or whatever 3 brainstorm, and this league is it's gonna be a lot different because I ran into 4 out of 5 games I went against Delver, and I was just crushing it with the Delvers. It's kind of funny. The last one is gonna be the most interesting one because that was the weirdest one, because it was 3 blue-red Delver and 1 Grixis Delver with the ninja one, which was
That was Honda Civic with Kaito.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, it was not a clean match, but we won anyway. But the first one was not Delver. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't Delver anyway. So let's see what we're up against. So MKE.
Yeah, so these are my first time seeing these games, so we'll have to see what's going on.
Yeah, let's see if you agree with my choices. So
that's a good keep.
Yorion, okay, was D&T, was it? I don't remember. But it's a good starting hand. So Flooded Strand.
We aggressively, if they tap down, we will aggressively find an island, otherwise we'll just wait.
Well, yeah. So what could it be if it's Tundra and Yorion? What does that say?
Tundra, Yorion. It could be, what's that, an Ether Vial deck, like a Esper Vial.
Yeah, sort of a blink thing.
Yeah, some kind of tribal. It could be a value deck.
Yeah. So here,
here's a good time to fetch.
Yeah, I don't know if I do that. We'll see. Nope.
Yeah, so I think kind of the calculus that you've run here is that Yorion decks are not going to play Stifle. I think that's reasonable. I don't mind that heuristic.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's basically Delver that makes me scared, sorta.
Mm-hmm. Right here, though, I would have brainstormed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they tap down and we still have the fetch land up. I'd be like, okay, brainstorm, fetch land.
And my heuristic here is probably, either I draw it naturally, or I wanna brainstorm as late as possible, kind of thing. So Field of the Dead. Okay, so it's lands of some sort.
Yeah, but they got Cantrip Cartel, so this is now an Uro mid-range deck. They've showed you green. It's Uro mid-range with red. Right, until proven otherwise, because that's the only outlet is Uro in a deck like these.
So
This
we
is,
go.
let me see. This is Teferi to Torak. Should be the first. Ooh, okay.
I go for the
Not in
scroll.
love with this with the first play.
Mm-hmm.
It sticks though, so they lose the game. That's always cool.
So yeah, sure, you can have
Nice
that.
Uro.
So would you violin the dreadnought directly? Oh, he tapped.
With green man on this, yeah.
Now that he
With green
tapped
mana
his
go.
Caracas, he tapped out a white, so I'm just slamming. I'm assuming anyway.
Yeah, so we just take our pound of flesh here. So really, what you want to do here is
Mhm.
you want to cast the Teferi. I think. Oh wait. Oh, we brainstormed. Okay. So really quickly, I disagree with the brainstorm.
Okay.
To start out, I think that you had a plan here.
Mm-hmm.
Your plan is, I am going to play a Teferi. Does it resolve?
Yeah.
And if Teferi resolves, what we're going to do is we'll force a will if we drew that. I don't know what your brainstorm found exactly because hand moved around.
Mm-hmm.
But we play Teferi. If it resolves, like we attack them, we flip the Dreadnought, and then we bounce the Dreadnought back to hand. And we
Okay.
draw a card, and we wait.
Yeah,
whereas
yeah.
right here, it's
Sure,
we
that's
can't do everything we want to with this Dreadnought.
that's a good line. I didn't think about that one. Yeah, so now we don't have that option anyway, so now we're gonna probably lose the dreadnought to a plow or whatever.
They'll go for Kurakus, we'll plow, we'll get our compensation. Good. And murder.
I did not do that.
Okay, so there I would have gone to plow the
Yeah.
Uro.
Ending.
They have another white mana in hand and 5 cards.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you are not fighting over this and you've already hit them a substantial amount. Ooh, I really don't. Okay, so I really heavily disagree with this.
Yeah. I
Getting rid of Teferi is easily the best card in your hand. It is worth a force of will out of them. And you have a brainstorm that's just fucking useless.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I
So
hear ya.
you've left yourself on 1 mana spells that by definition cannot beat an Uro deck that easily.
Yeah. I liked your Teferi line.
Yeah, so I would just plow the Uro as compensation there with Karakas on the stack, see if they want to fight over that or not. Then yeah, it's just like, okay, here's my Teferi.
And here I go for the March instead.
March is fine.
Because I don't want to
They're
give him the
pretty
life.
equivalent. I do like that March doesn't give them life after you gave them a huge whack to the dome.
Yeah, that was basically, I think my mindset was that. So shifting Ceratops, sure, you can have that.
Yeah. You can take 1 hit. Oh, they don't have the haste. So we have to get rid of Wasteland here, except that we kind of need it for the Karakas, but we'd have to flush it. And we have to hold up a Force of Negation. Right, so this is Fourth of Will and Wasteland go away.
Yep, I agree with you. So what am I doing now? 3 mana? Oh, I took a dragon. I think I
so
was
you're
in.
saying capture Teferi into me, which is fine. So they have to Teferi or Jace bounce you.
So here comes the Urian, I guess. Sure.
I'm not sure what the point of that one is, but you have Yorion. Okay, and we have shuffled.
So here I go for the double plow plan for the Urian.
Yeah, double plow is correct. It's kind of your only way to win. They're on 1 card.
Yeah.
And then you can force a negation, even if they had a force of will.
Mm-hmm.
And now we are in a race, and we are going to win that race because we play Scroll of Fate.
Yeah.
And we can chump block. Even if they have trample, it doesn't matter.
So here
That
we...
one is an easy fourth negation.
Yeah. Stifle is perfect.
Knife 2/2.
Yes, a nice 2/2. Oops, so the race is back on.
It's back on. So here you want to... we can't stifle the Caracas, we have to let it go.
So I did stifle the Caracas.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah, it's
know.
not the worst.
Yeah, well.
It does open up Karn. What you just did there, I guess, no, they can cast it from the graveyard, right?
Yeah, so that was
So it
pointless.
doesn't really open up the Karn line. But yeah, I don't think you can recover from throwing away this Teferi. I think
No.
the Brainstorm was easily the worst card in the hand.
So here we go, and I don't think I draw anything else.
Yep. Yeah, and I don't think there's anything, even a verdict wouldn't be good
No.
enough.
So that was a losing. And I think if I've gone for your line there with the Teferi, I think the game would have been over quite quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, so game 2. Oops. Yep, this looks great.
Good hand.
Yeah. Just have to trust our deck that we can draw a blue source, right?
Yeah, and this is the other thing, right, is our blue mana fixing is not tied to Ponder and Brainstorm.
Mm-hmm.
It's tied partially to Timeless Dragon. So yeah, we have a lot of variance reduction, a lot of ways for white to find blue, and again, the Relic is going to help with that as well.
So
There's the Panic Brainstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Force of Will us, please. Nope. Okay, we'll take 3 cards instead. They're already kind of dead to this Relic. Yeah, the fact that they didn't ending the Relic there,
Yeah.
it's probably game over for them.
And
This Relic's going to do critical damage.
yeah, the only thing we have to worry about is having a wasteland for his Field of the Dead.
Yep.
But not having access to his graveyard is just crippling, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. This is how they die, and he's milling out because he can't recycle with an endurance because we just keep effectively milling his graveyard to exile.
So this is fine.
Yeah, they're allowed to have a carpet,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't even kill it. I don't even see the reason why we would want to kill that. And no, we only have 1 land showing. They can't really cast Jace that effectively. And we have a Scroll of Fate come. Yeah, and especially not now. So yeah, we're going to win this game because they've followed a faulty heuristic that Carpet of Flowers is a good Magic card, and that is not true. It's one of the easiest ways to lose a control matchup is to play the card Carpet of Flowers.
Sure. So here I brainstorm at the end stat. So what do we get rid of? We want to play the Ash up probably.
Yeah, so really quickly here, it's important that the Brainstorm happened right here, then they couldn't hold Reacher you.
Yeah.
Because you're just looking for ways to get rid of Brainstorm, and that's the thing. Another thing about Brainstorm, like playing 4 of down the line, is it just opens you up to a lot of interaction that you don't want to have to play into. The things that you put back, though, we like the Ashiok, we like the Shark Typhoon, we like the Scroll of Fate, we like the Verdict, we like the March, we like the Plow. Like, honestly, I would put Brainstorm under the Plains. I just don't care about brainstorming. I don't feel the need to.
So I sent away the planes, but not the brainstorm. I sent the plow instead.
Yeah, and I just don't even think you fetch here.
Just as you said, I fetch. Well, so here
yeah, so they don't have red right now, so this is Ashiok into Torak. Just murder them, and we get an extra card out of their graveyard. And now they're gonna have to waste their turn red blasting us. Gonna be good. Nice. And let's see what we hit.
Let's see. Grist,
Got a grist out of the
Endurance,
deck.
Green Sun, Abundant Growth.
And, okay, yeah. Nice. So yeah, we've hit, Green Sun Zenith and Endurance, so that's huge for destroying their ability to stay in this game without milling. And that's the thing, playing an 80 card deck is not protection from mill.
Uro, yeah, sure. You can have an Uro.
Right, and that's like one of those spots where more than brainstorm I want to plow.
Yeah. He protects his Uro for the moment, but
For
it's,
now.
yeah, it's very futile against both of these dudes.
Yep.
So we use the Ice Shock, we hit an Uro, a Force of Vigor, an Ending, and a Swords. That's all good.
Nice. So yeah, he's just milling out slowly but surely.
The Yorion deck though, so it's takes some time to mill him.
Yep. So here, if they have the mana, they would go for like some big Yorion play.
So now he goes for the Ice Shock, which is fine.
That's fine. Ashbrock's already done critical damage.
Yeah. And we still have the relic, so his graveyard is not gonna matter for a while at least.
Engineered Explosives on 1 is now live, and that should be in our deck. Especially after seeing the Abundant Growth, so in Game 3 we should be bringing that one in. Yeah.
It's not, so.
Okay. Yeah. But you didn't see Abundant Growth in Game 1, so I'm fine not bringing it in. But once you see Abundant Growth, it's like, whatever, I'm bringing it in.
Mm-hmm. So here we
And then, still in Library is another reason to have Engineered Explosives in your deck.
Yep. Here we can block the Arbor, just to slow
That's
the
real
bleed.
good.
Slow the bleed a little bit. And here you would probably fetch, right? Just to...
Look at that, they have infinite mana. I don't even know if you necessarily need to fetch right now. Nice, Power Blast is in the graveyard. I would cast the Scroll of Fate.
Okay, so let's see what I did. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, I don't like leaving up mana like this. And like right here, you have to like blow a Brainstorm just because you can't get Hull Breached.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't do that. So now we have 2 Brainstorms that are just useless in our hand until they tap down again.
Yeah, it happens a lot though, so.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things. When you have a brainstorming games like these, you really do have to make sure it's getting used at the right times.
So we find the
I agree
Brainstorm.
with this. Yeah, this is fine because we'll kill their Field of the Dead, and then we'll verdict them, and then we will exile it from the game. So that seems all reasonable.
Yeah.
So they're going to grab Caracas and the Field of the Dead, or 2 fields. Nope, they just have the 1. Bet you they're feeling fancy.
And he's
Ooh, look at that.
fetching.
Look at all those zombies. This is so good.
Yep.
If only there were some card that could stop them. If only.
So he gets a bit greedy.
Nice.
So
Like
now,
Bird's Paradise also should not be in your deck.
yeah, so we just
We'll trade. There's some damage.
yeah. So we kill the field, we wipe the board.
Yeah. And there. Ooh, nice. Even a Teferi. Very good. Teferi uptick I like. Gives you the instant speed verdict. But you are tapped out, nuking their graveyard completely,
Yes.
which is very sad.
It's
But,
unfortunate, but it is what it is. I couldn't resist having a plus Teferi to
Mm-hmm.
do this at instant speed. So I did before his triggers, of course, in case he has more of the Field of the Dead. So 2 cards in
Now
hand.
we've got Wasteland. Yeah.
So here's what? Yorion, sure. So he can draw a card. That's
It's all
fine.
very cool.
So here I exile because
Yep.
there are too many cards for us to pick him apart. slowly.
Yeah, you could also almost. Yeah, I was gonna say you could almost just one shot that Yorion with the March, just hard paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
But casting Dragon could be reasonable. Bouncing the Yorion makes sense to me. Yeah.
And then
Yeah, and then casting Harm.
yeah.
This is reasonable.
So we get
Perhaps Liquid
coding.
Metal. Liquid Metal's a little bit YOLO-ish. Probably would have gone Scroll of Fate there.
Mm-hmm.
Or Crucible. Either one. Crucible, I guess we're out of Wasteland, though. So, yeah.
So here's an Omnath. Sure.
Yeah, very cool. Did some damage to some Planeswalkers.
Hey, it doesn't do a lot, does it?
No, he's trying to get to the third land trigger. Even if he did, we just stifle it. Just be like, no thanks.
And here I should do your trick. I didn't know about it, but the
Yes.
get
So, yeah,
back.
right here, these things don't come back.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a fetchable island.
Yeah. I don't do it
Yeah,
because
so
I didn't.
Yorion is a very bad card against Stifle.
Yeah.
And this is the reason.
Yeah. That would have been awesome. But I didn't know
So
about it.
that's a pretty huge misplay, right? Like that's a 4-for-1. You
Oh
just
yeah.
went behind on 4 cards by
Mhm.
missing that.
And at this point, I'm starting to feel like this is not going well. But fortunately, we still have outs.
Yeah.
So we start
You
with
can kill
the
kill their
coding.
forest.
Yeah, I don't remember what I kill. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that makes sense because it's enchanted, right?
okay.
Sure, buddy.
We get
We'll
a
grab a land.
yeah, that's great. Can still kill it. And then we
Hard cast dragon.
no, I
Oh,
actually
what are we alt casting here?
we are all casting the march to kill the
Okay, I
no.
really leaving up Stifle like that I don't think is gonna save you.
mm-hmm.
I guess you're okay, so you are trying.
I want to clear the board, have my planeswalkers.
I see. Yeah, you're trying to lock out. I understand it now. You're trying to lock out the ability of Yorion to connect. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, because now if we bounce it, it doesn't matter. He gets no value.
Yep.
You can play Yorion as much as you want. I don't care.
Yep. And now Hall of Storm Giants will probably finish him off.
Yeah. So that was basically my reasoning, but I don't know. So hold
Scroll of Fate's a
down,
very good one.
and I hard cast the dragon since we are out of
Fine.
vegetables.
Yeah. At this point in the game, I would be to fairy down ticking on their Yorion.
Even if it means losing it.
Well, they can't attack it. You down tick and bounce their Yorion just to draw a card, so they can't ending.
Mhm.
That's the main thing you care about is ending on your or that.
Yeah.
Right. So you missed a card draw, so that's a 5th card you're down.
Yeah. Yep.
This
But-
is probably game over though.
It is. And he also made the mistake of using too much time. I guess the game was close-ish. So,
Yeah, I think you made this game 5 cards closer than it had to be,
Mhm.
and they are at 2 cards in hand.
yes. And 4 of them I didn't know about I didn't think about the trigger there, but
Yeah.
and here I am kind of happy of him just using his time. He's down to 7 minutes. So yeah,
That's
sure.
fine. They're allowed to do that. Yeah, now they're down to 20 cards in their deck.
Yep.
We are drawing towards Savine's Reclamation for the Ashiok.
So we're going after the red.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense to me.
So that was
Actually, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense to me because they have red off the carpet.
Oh,
so if
yeah.
they wanted red blast, they got it.
sure. Yeah, that makes sense. And we don't have Karn anymore. I think we used both of them. But basically, he's out of stuff.
Yeah. And you don't need to do anything.
No, I just let him waste his time.
Yeah. Like even there, I'd probably even Ashiok.
Yeah, I think I do before the game is over.
Okay, nice, nice. Yeah, because all you have to do is sit there and let them mill out. Save your time.
Yeah.
At the verdict once they get too much. Yeah.
He tries to cast a green Sun Zenith into
Yeah.
Ashiok.
That doesn't work too well, turns out. That's fine.
Tress sounds nice. But that probably means he has another Titan in his deck then. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, you can have an
Good news is
Uro.
that guy's dead. Stifle the Caracas, make sure it goes to the graveyard, and they lose.
Yeah. So they lose. So it wasn't the cleanest one, but it got done. And then he has 5 minutes to do game 3.
Yeah. On a Yorion deck that plays into white removal.
So this is fine.
So-
We have Stifle, can stand still.
This is amazing. Why don't you just leave that windswept teeth there and not crack it? Oh, that's too bad. What a guy. Here comes the show and tell brainstorm.
Yep. Carpet.
Ooh.
I stop it just
Terrible.
to waste his time, I guess.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. That's one of the only ways he can get you is if he ramps. So that's a good play.
And I did have the standstill to.
Yeah, he might have some trouble killing us.
Yeah, I mean, if he does it by 1-1 beats, he's not gonna have enough time.
Yeah.
So I'm just chilling. And there's
Nice
the
spelling.
Tundra. Sure. And he's content
Oh, no,
doing
come on,
this.
beats.
And I'm thinking, yes, come on. Use your time like this.
Yeah, but we got some pretty easy stifle discards if we want to.
Yeah. I don't remember what I discard.
You can even discard brainstorm. Oh, that's not good.
I don't think
Yeah, that
we're
was
gonna
hard.
mail
I
him.
mean, it's a game about time, and that's not going to matter. But that's the worst card to discard.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, brainstorm is probably the best card to discard, followed by stifles.
Yeah. I guess I was just thinking, okay, it's not gonna be a game where I do anything. I just want to interact. So I guess
Yeah.
stifles and force of wills and swords are things that do stuff.
Yeah.
So here I think I even discard the Karn. I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. You're discarding your best cards, but it's not a game about that.
No.
Brainstorm is easily the worst card in your hand right now.
Yeah, I think I overvalue the card.
Yeah, the card is just, it really is kind of the worst, the best worst card in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I would describe it.
So here he decides to crack.
Sure, we got all kinds of discards.
And here I brainstorm and then step, see if I can.
Discard some lands or something.
And
Nice.
we got a Pyroblast out of him. So
Sure.
we can go for
Brainstorm
another
again.
one.
Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that seems good. I would even do a march, pitching
Okay.
a plow. Oh, I would just march to not discard it and just kill their arbor.
Sure. That would have made sense. So we have a ton of interaction here. So we don't really care what he does. Prime
Yeah,
time.
he's allowed to do that.
So force.
I would, yeah, let's see. I don't love pitching verdict against a field deck, especially because they're going to get a whole bunch of zombies. So yeah, you've made the right choice.
Okay.
That's fine. And
So
again, the same boring play pattern of look at me, do all my things. I'm so powerful into the verdict. Yeah.
yeah. We have the reset button, so to speak.
Nice ponder. Use some more time.
Sure.
So good.
Doesn't
That is real
matter
good.
since we have the 4th land, so we just nuke the board, and he's down to 1 minute and nothing to show for it.
Yep.
And
He is dead. And now you've got Karn wishing liquid metal, and you can kill the hall or the field of the dead like that. But you could also kill it with even if they kill your Karn after you wish for the liquid metal, you just go your field of the dead, march it.
yeah. So you got some Uro, we plow the Uro. Oh, we bounce the Uro just to make him use the time. So it wasn't like, I mean, this was, I played just for, since he had so little time, I just wanted to use the tools I had. I was on low time as well, but he just wasted too much time. It's hard, I mean, the thing with these games is, you know, when we look at it now, there are so many lines, but there are a million decisions in these games, and it's hard to get them all right in the moment.
Yeah, and that's part of the skill of the deck. That's why it takes so many hundreds, thousands of hours on it to get them.
Because you sometimes you just lose track of what is my game plan. You told me, okay, you chose this line, fine, but then midway through that line I changed path to another line, and it's just just gets very complicated.
Yeah, because you're not playing a one card combo deck, right? You're not making one decision at one time. You're not doing tactics. You're playing strategy. You're playing for turns, and those lines that you're taking are going to dictate what you're doing multiple turns in a row.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, is what's very difficult with these 80 card decks. You don't know really what to expect from them because there's so much variance in their deck. And I mean, you're playing against a shifting Ceratops or whatever, and it's just, you can't prepare for that. It's just it's difficult. Alright, so now we're gonna go into Delver Town, and
Nice.
it's gonna be great. I just need to go to the bathroom real quick. It's just gonna be a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that as well. Just pause the video here.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause it. So let's see. I don't know. There we go. Okay, so we're back, and we are gonna look at the final 4 matches of the second 5-0 league, and now we're gonna watch Dreadstill destroy Delver. Of course, I didn't know that when I started each match, but that's how it turned out. But this is not keepable in either case, right? So let's
Correct. Yeah, there's nothing to keep either.
And this is nice.
Yeah, fine. Like, we don't like Tundra, but at least we have Stifle to protect it. So we'll get rid of you get rid of Force of Negation. You can get rid of a Stifle as well, but I guess you get rid of Stifle and you just see what happens.
And I think I don't remember. Let's see. I sent back one of the white cards.
So yeah, March is really dangerous. Sending that away because of Saga. Right, like you can just destroy a Saga deck. And your hand right now is 3 cards that lose to Chalice. And you just threw away your Chalice tape.
Good call. Okay.
Delverino.
That's fine. So how do we play this?
I think you need to play safe on mana. So I think you have to play Wasteland and pass.
Okay. I don't think I do
Because
that.
again, if they want to waste your Wasteland, you're going to hit their ball.
Yeah.
So, yeah. See, the problem here is if they go Wasteland and they have a Daze, and you just go back to the Stone Age.
Yep. That's a good call. But they go for the Ponder.
And they're pondering for a Wasteland and Daze. Whatever card they're missing, they're going for.
Misty.
You are very lucky to be alive.
Yes.
Okay, let me see. Right here, do we plow? No, we do not. Okay.
Hall is a nice pickup.
Giant is a good one. At this point, you can afford to plow.
Okay. I figured as long as he's a 1/1, it's not a priority.
Yeah, and you can wait. It's fine to take him off the force negation, right? Stifle. Yep. That's good. It's going to be very hard for them to expressive iteration. And we can just sit and wait now.
Yeah.
Again, we could wasteland them off of expressive iteration. I don't know that it's really worth it unless we draw a land.
Okay.
I think our mana is more valuable, so I would not be wastelanding them.
So I don't remember.
That
how
way
it
we
really-
can consider a force negation on iteration, just to if they're not going to play a fetch land. Oh, we could also just make a dreadnought now. They're 4 in hand.
Yeah.
I think picking a fight with making a dreadnought is reasonable in this position. This is fine too.
Would you?
No, you don't. You don't wasteland here. If you wasteland, you take stifle offline.
Yeah.
All right, because it just gets dazed. So yeah, no. I think wasteland here is a pretty bad idea. I think I'm much happier force negationing an iteration or stifling that.
Yeah. And here comes
No
the
iteration for you.
Murktide, I
Nice
think.
Murktide. Yep.
That's one a bit problematic for us, but hopefully we can find an
Yeah.
answer.
We're doing okay-ish. So we do need to cycle and jam into days here.
Yeah. So that's what I do.
And they're allowed to daze that. Yeah, sure thing. Now they can't iteration. That's a good thing. We find a verdict, we win the game.
And for some reason they don't attack.
Didn't attack, that's kind of funny. So we really should not be alive.
Nope. So now we get a 4/4, which at least can tussle with the Delver, which is nice.
Yeah.
We can take
Delver's done for the game.
iteration, sure.
I will say that right there, you would rather have Wasteland as your mana that's up rather than a Prismatic Vista. You want the land out of your deck, and you want to be able to Wasteland in response to Wasteland, in case they're trying to protect their mana.
So he obviously has a bolt or something, sure, but that's great. That's not going to my face. Okay.
Yep. And yeah, there's again why you need to be fetching aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been the island you ripped out of your deck.
March, damn it.
Not quite there.
Nope.
And there was a missed attack here, so we should be super dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. They have another bolt. No, we're doing that.
Chain lightning, yeah. So it was a missed attack, and yeah, we didn't get very close in this one.
You know what? I think a lot of that though really does stem from the way that you mulliganed, right? I think that throwing away a March of Otherworldly Light while essentially locking yourself into Chalice and giving yourself no play around the Chalice deck. You just have to choose: do you want to play against combo and keep the Fawn, or do you want to get rid of the extra stifle? I just don't think that you can get rid of March there.
No, that's very fair. So let's look at the 2 games that I do win. Okay, this is nice. I have my mana set up. All is well in the world. And we can jam.
This is a pretty great... Yeah, and you have your basics too. That's an interesting call.
I think I want to swords either way.
Oh, it's on curve? Yes. Okay, I see what you're doing.
So, I mean,
Yes,
either
makes
way,
sense.
it's gonna be good for me. Either he's set back on mana, or I get rid of his threat, and then I can slam the standstill.
Yeah, and I think slamming standstill here because it takes him off of the days on the Teferi, so Teferi bounces whatever he does.
Yeah.
Wow, he didn't have anything. He's dead, especially if he bricks on a land.
Yeah, and we have the dragon set up, so let's just get a second white.
Oh yeah.
So we're just cruising here. I mean, this is just... and this is...
This is a dead Delver player.
Yeah, he's very dead.
Yeah, nice wasteland. We'll make a dragon.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even taunt him and just hold up 4 mana and pass the turn. Be like, whatever, I'll make a 1/1 shark. And then if you try to wasteland me, I'll wasteland you back.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's a good one.
So now we can make a 2/2 shark. And he just gave up. He saw the writing on the wall. So that's reasonable. And game 3 on the draw, the difficult one. So this is not keepable.
This is a nasty hand. Oh god.
Would you keep this?
I would send that back. Like you can do it, but Jesus, this is dangerous. So I would molt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
This isn't great either, but
it's fine. Let me see. You might. No, you have to send away the Force of Will. You have to. I think it's the Force of Will. You obviously can't throw away land. You can't throw away Timeless. You gotta have the Shark Typhoon to trade. You're not gonna aggro Force. Oh, okay. So I don't like what's happening here.
you don't like getting rid of that shock. Well,
No.
I agreed with you.
Yeah. So this is looking much better to me. And then we get to go up to 7 cards against them, so it's not really down a card, just down a turn.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to rip a bolt right out of their hand pretty easily, I think. Best land is a basic source or a fetch, either one would work. That's interesting.
How would you
I
play
mean, you
this?
could try casting that. You could try casting that on your end step.
Mm-hmm.
They could daze it though, then they deny you a draw. They have 3 cards in their hand.
Yep.
I don't like it. I still like mana development. I would probably go play a wasteland. I don't think you can waste them. They're 3 mana though. Play for time. That seems dangerous. I feel like you probably cannot wasteland here. I feel like it's play a wasteland and get a Timeless Dragon cycle.
Yeah. I think a wasteland doesn't make sense, right, with him having 2 threats.
Yeah. I don't like exposing our other blue source that will cast the Ashiok.
Mm-hmm. Lightning bolt, so we are under a lot of pressure here.
Yep. You got to get those lands down.
Yep.
If we can get up to 4 mana, we're going to be pretty good. We can throw stuff at the Delver.
Ponder, okay. So he's almost delirious as well. So that's scary. But no go. So here, I guess we cycle, yeah.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, Plains is reasonable.
Okay, so how do we do this?
Let's see. Wiping the graveyard's kind of fun, isn't it? We're gonna play Plains. Let me see here. 2 mana. There only 4 damage coming through.
Yeah, possibly 6. And I'm at
Yeah.
12, basically, because he has a bolt.
Yeah. This gets interesting. Like, this is... No, so the red mana is up, so we can't afford to play a dress down no matter what we do. We could play a search and draw the red blast. Wastelanding still doesn't work. So I play plains and I pass, I think. And I'll see if I can tag something with a shark.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. But we are under the gun.
Yeah.
So hopefully...
Nice thing is they have to discard their lightning bolt, so we're going to gain 3 life here off this shark.
Yeah. Or a red blast or whatever. Yeah, that's lightning bolt. Okay, that's good. That's 3 life gained. Okay, so
we got a face pick. That's real good.
So now we are ready for the Weeper, but no go.
Yeah. So you got your island, which is the right play right now. We're preserving life,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to make a dragon.
Yep. So we are in agreement. So we're sort of stabilizing, but not quite.
Yeah, so I think you played the game perfectly thus far, minus the... I might have laid out the wasteland instead of the tundra and kept that in hand
Mm-hmm.
for a little bit longer.
So I block.
I think I'd kill the... honestly, you could kill the Delver here.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would kill the Delver because he has to attack the next turn, or he just turn into a 1/1. So here I would switch up the blocks.
Sure.
Although I understand that card does mill to other things.
So dragon survives. We draw the plow. Okay, things are looking up. So we kill.
Yeah, let's go ahead and plow there.
So did you agree with the wasteland?
Let me see. Wastelanding their tapped red source. I don't know that really accomplishes anything right here. I would have. This is reasonable. But yeah, I would go ahead and plow their. See, now I would agree with the wasteland on your end step, right? So they can't hard cast a fawn, but right here is where you need to plow the Delver before they draw cards. So that's a slight punt.
Okay. Well, I guess what I wanted to do was to entice him to attack.
Well, the thing is, he has to attack, right? As long as you don't kill the DRC, he has to attack India.
Sure. Yeah, that's correct. Well, that was my thinking anyway, lure him into my timeless dragon trap.
Yep. Yeah, he lured himself.
yeah, for sure. Okay, so here's the dragon. That's fine because we have the Otawara.
Yep.
That's a really nice answer to Murktide.
Otawara is not a brainstorm. And we are going to do this before they can, they haven't shown us Stifle yet, so we're fine.
Yeah.
We are fine waiting, and we're not going to race them.
No. We're just playing it cool until...
Yeah. I'm fine with this block.
Yeah, I did that in case he had Stifle.
Okay. Yeah, that's reasonable. There we go. Eating up his red cards.
That's good.
He's scared of it. That's good. He needs to be.
So there's the plan.
Oh, it's going to be Yeah. I spy a Dreadnought.
Yep.
It's also not unreasonable to Ashiok here and just wipe his graveyard so he can never Murktide again.
That's what I do, actually.
It's also a reasonable play. Yeah. So this makes more sense to me.
Force of Will, perfect. And now we can do the dress down as well.
Correct. And then he just has a 3/3 flying, and we don't really care about it. Or you can just wait to make a Dreadnought.
Yeah.
And then you just jump block. Yeah, that's fine to do it that way. Oh, nice. And he taps out. That's a really bad play by them.
instead
That was
of
very
doing
quick.
something proactive, he uses expressive iteration. That's just beautiful.
Yeah,
We
that
don't-
is absolutely the wrong play.
I should have just slammed the Murktide. I forgot to play the Dreadstill for some reason. I don't know why.
No, you're playing around Red Blast, and that's
Oh, yeah.
perfectly reasonable.
That was probably my thinking. Now we can do a shark, which is fine, and he
Yeah, nobody
continues
gets
to flounder.
What are they doing? Like, oh my god.
See, this is just...
Okay, we'll make a 4/4.
Well,
Yeah, they're tapped out. Yeah, no, it's even better to do this now. Yeah, because they're tapped out of Red Blast.
we
just
can
foolish.
cycle, get the Tundra.
Yep.
So this is game
And we're not
over.
cracking fetches, which makes sense because we're low on life.
Yeah, that was my... that was the main reason for not playing the shark.
Yep, and now they're in just all kinds of trouble.
Yeah.
And we can, we can make a dragon. I would have even made a second dragon there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That doesn't
That's
help.
waste of your mana, waste of your mana.
And
Do not
stifle.
stifle that.
Nope. So here comes the shark, I guess.
Yeah, and I would threaten lethal.
Yeah, I can make
I-
just
I
a
would
2/2.
Yeah, I would be Kraken, yeah.
I don't
4/4
crack
going.
both because I don't want to go down to 6.
So you actually do because they can't fire blast you if they don't play it. So right now you don't kill them if they have a bolt. They can only cast one bolt.
Yeah.
So I guess what you're saying is that their hand. Okay, that's fine.
I mean, they could ostensibly be 2 bolts in their hand.
Yeah.
And they were likely to get another turn if they have a red blast.
Yeah. So the real question here is, when you brainstorm, could you find a plow?
Yeah. I go for the Teferi.
Teferi is the correct card to play first. I would downtick on nothing and draw a card before brainstorm. So yeah, this is a mistake what you're doing here.
Mm-hmm. Because I don't need it.
Well, remember that the best play that you can make right now
Yeah.
is Teferi downtick, which gives you 1 card, and then brainstorm gets 3 more. And if you find a plow, you just make a dreadnought and you plow it. Or you
Yeah.
hold plow in your hand for the dreadnought and you have a Teferi passive.
Mm-hmm.
So that no matter what they do, they can't burn you out. Right?
Yeah.
So you have a gain 12 button.
So the strength of the deck, it bailed us out. So it was pretty cool. And I think the following 2 matches were a bit cleaner, but we'll see if I agree with that now after seeing the games. So that's a nice one.
It's a great hand.
Yeah. So fetch basic island straight away, I guess. Well, we'll see.
As long as they tap down. Okay, so they're showing Preordain. That's weird. Yes, this is going to be pretty funny, though. We're still playing Preordain. That's
Yeah, some of them are.
probably incorrect.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't. Just because we see Preordain does not mean we grab a Tundra. That is not the right call.
No.
This is Island, Aggro Island.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went with the planes. I guess keeping up the swords. Sure. Okay. Another Delver.
So yeah, we're very lucky that if they did have Stifle, that they tapped out of it, because there's no reason to lose the game to Stifle.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no reason to plow yet. Okay, nice. And again, we like that more than a brainstorm.
Oh,
With a hand
definitely.
like this.
So how do we play this one?
You have to aggro crack and get an island. That's priority number 1. And then you're going to go ahead and just plow one of the Delvers.
Yep. So Agreed.
And I guess technically we could do it in their upkeep, but if someone's playing Preordain and Delver, there's odds that they could be playing Spell Pierce too, or other crappy cards.
Mm-hmm.
So you may as well just be like, whatever, I'll get my Pound of Flesh off the Force Negation.
Sure, you can express
Sure.
iteration. That's fine. And now,
Yeah, you have 3/2. Basic land, best top deck.
and there we go.
Nice. We'll do that one, and we'll ending their guy, or
Marching, yeah.
Thank days, very nice. They're back to square zero.
So now we are in a holding pattern, and we draw a plow. So we play the
Yeah, and we'll play Odawara, and I would play Scroll of Fate just to start things moving.
yeah.
That is the correct play. Good. Force of Will and a daze out of their hand. That's
Mhm.
really good for us.
And I'm inclined to not force back in this scenario.
Oh yeah, no. We don't have anything to do with that thing yet, so we actively wanted that to eat a force. It's part of our game plan. And now if they play a Murktide and we really need to, well, we're just going to plow it. Here's our Murktide.
But I wait till my turn, because I don't want to get
Yeah,
dazed.
that's the right line. And now this will probably shred their hand to 0 as they try to protect it. This Daze is a bad magic card. Kaplow. Ooh, they didn't have anything. Nice.
So they're down to 3 cards. So,
Yeah,
think
if
sort
they
of
play
that.
a threat here, we'd consider forcing.
oh yeah?
But I guess, yeah, I think forcing there can make sense.
Even at 16 life?
Yeah, so that can be a 3/2 pretty easily.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah, I think I would have forced there.
Yeah, well.
That's really good.
Yeah, I think I'm inclined to not force the. I mean, sometimes I agree, like some other game you said, okay, the third one we need to force. But here, I kind of have faith in the deck that single threats we can deal with. It's not
Okay.
a big deal, sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more worried about like having Supreme Verdict in the deck and drawing those and not being able to cast them. You know, so
Mhm.
that kind of directs my wanting to force a will that, and we never force will Expressive Iteration because it's just not a good enough card.
See, he just wasted his whole turn, drawing same cards as he just cast.
Yeah.
It's just not good magic. It's not good deck building. Okay, so March drawn.
Let's make a 4/4 dragon.
So let's see how.
Let me see. Well, there's 2 different ways to play this.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. The best way to get a trade is to not trade your Force of Will into a daze. So what you really want to do here is, if you're aggressive and you can afford to be, you can just slam a Karn to eat a daze. Just to do it, and that's a perfectly reasonable line with the backup. Going for a March and leaving up 2 mana lets you Force of Will paying for days on their Murktide.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think actually making a dragon is one of the worst things that you could do here. So yeah, I'm fine with the Karn play, but also fine with the March. Yeah, don't make a dragon yet. That would be a bad idea.
And it's the intuitive line, right? But it's just so bad against the Brazen Borrower and stuff. It's just.
Yeah.
And the dragon's gonna be good later.
Yeah, your life total there.
Mm-hmm.
I think at your life total, you're plenty free to just be like Karn.
Yeah.
+1.
Yeah.
Because they'd probably attack it and bolt it anyways. You're like, all right, fine. You didn't daze it.
And
That's
here,
huge.
yeah. So now we can Karn through a daze, which is great.
Yeah.
So we do that.
Force
Force of negation.
That's a good one to get out of their hand.
Yeah. And I figure since we have a backup one, I don't have to fight for it now.
Yeah, and it's also, you don't have an answer to Murktide. other than Force of Will. That's the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Karn is not going to find something that will save you.
I should have probably fetched when he tapped out, though. In case
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
It's just that I stopped respecting Stifle from the Delver players. They don't, except the Teamer one. I haven't seen it for a while.
Yeah, right here you don't want to draw a land. Okay, good. Yeah, I was going to say, you don't want to draw that last land in your deck. That
Yeah.
would be catastrophic to draw the basic island there.
Yeah.
It's completely unforced.
Yeah.
So that's a good bet.
Okay, so second Karn coming down.
Yeah, and I would still play the Flooded Strand first
Okay.
in case of Spell Pierce.
I don't go for the Karn, I go for the Dragon for some...
Honestly, it's fine.
Yeah.
Karn would be a little bit awkward against Brazen Borrower.
Yeah. I'll see what he does. He does nothing, that's great. So he probably has the 2 bolts in hand or something stupid. So
Oh yeah, he's toast. I would start getting Tundra out of the deck. I wouldn't be taking these things for Brainstorm.
Yeah. Well.
No, you hit it. But yeah, you've got all the tools you need. You don't need to actually cast that Brainstorm. It's just pitch fodder.
Mm-hmm.
And the other problem with Brainstorm and casting it here is we have Force of Will paying for days. So why in the world would we ever cast the Brainstorm? Yeah, we have we have hard cast Force of Will paying for days, and then pitch cast Force of Will.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do against Delver.
And here I think I do Brainstorm end of turn.
That's fine. You know, it's dangerous against
Okay,
Skull Breacher,
you
but
don't.
they shouldn't have it.
Okay,
That's really good.
swords,
That's going to change our line significantly, so we can play a Karn now.
So let's see if I agree with you. I don't remember. I think I just played, since I can hard cast the force, I'm just saying, okay, deal with the dragon and we'll see what's up.
Yeah. A little bit of a dangerous game, but I think you should be fine. Got a lot of time. And again, there's also, if he ever has 5 mana up, again, like you're never casting spells. It's just like, no, you have to cast spells. You have to tap out of your Force of Will.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to cash that in against me.
Yeah,
That's
so
what the opponent's trying to do here.
yeah. So I'm more or less thinking, the impetus is on him to do something, right?
Yeah, we're never going to let him trade for a Force of Will.
No.
By hard casting one. Expressive iteration doesn't matter. That's
Delver, yeah, sure. And I don't think I
wouldn't plow it. Plow is your best answer for Murktide.
yeah. So let's see how we do this. I don't remember. So I do plow it for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so right here you're going to have to get a Karn going. That's good. That's really
a
good.
good draw. Yeah, I think I just stay
Yeah,
back.
I would do Karn for a crypt here.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, let me 4, 5, 6. No, this is Karn for a relic, because you get to draw a card off of it. Yeah, so that's Karn for relic there.
Yeah. He doesn't seem very inclined to play any cards though. So I'm kind of happy.
Yeah, he's 1 for 4 as well. And it's just like, all right, bud.
He's starting
And
to
in
discard.
game 1, I mean, it could be a Pyroblast. I would not animate.
Yeah, I never animate into 4 mana. I mean, there's no point. So he
Congratulations,
bolts,
you bolted us. Congratulations, you bolted us.
and this
Congratulations, you bolted us. I would
This-
force that one. Force negation that. Yeah. Good, good. Now we can Force of Will. Pitching a Brainstorm. We're starting our deck.
and he forces again, and
We
we
can
force
of Will.
again.
Yeah.
So he had a very strange draw. Forces and bolts.
Goes to 0, failing to kill us. Would have brought us down to 3 for no reason. I mean, we could have even let that bolt go, but it was such a good time to trade in.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at what was going on there, though, you did want to lead out, I think, with a Force of Will hard cast because it costs life to cast it, right?
Yeah.
So you would go hard cast Force of Will. You would pitch cast your next Force of Will, targeting Brainstorm, right, or pitching the Brainstorm. Then you would say, "That's fine. The bolt resolves. I have 5 life, and I have Force of Negation up on your turn."
Sure.
And now they're deterministically dead.
Yeah.
To the their help. Oh, they have 1 card.
So they died, but they had a very threat light hand, I guess. So we could deal with his first few threats, and then he was just playing into. I mean, it's gonna be hard for them to be the control deck against us.
Yeah. So I think the main thing in that game is that on that 1 turn you did want to deploy a Karn just to, because you still have a Karn in your hand at the end of the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was important to use your mana up that way.
Sure. I guess I was just thinking hard cost Force of Will for a Murktide or whatever. So let's just quickly mention the sideboarding, and usually I take out 2 Dreadnoughts, 2 Forces, and a Scroll. No.
Oh, you took out a Dress Down. That's not correct. Dress Down is it?
Yeah, I took out a
draw
Dress Down
effect.
instead of... Yeah, and I amended that to... Instead of the Dress Down, I take out a Scroll and I bring in the Mastery instead. And so we bring in Humility, Mastery, Nodes, and 2 more cards that I can't remember off the top of my head.
So one thing that does need to be in your deck is the Engineered Explosives here. That's an important one, in that it kills Delver and DRT, and it can wipe a double start.
Sure.
The card you would cut for that, though,
That's
we would not
hard.
cut a Standstill, we would not cut Fairy, we would not cut Karn, we would not cut our 3rd Dreadnought, we would... let's see.
Oh yeah, I brought in an Ashiok as well.
Yeah, I'm fine cutting a Brainstorm even. Like, I think the rest of your cards in your deck are so good that you don't need to have even 3 Brainstorms. You can go down to 2, and that's perfectly fine to get an Engineered Explosives.
Sure. Okay, so this hand, game 2 against Delver. Keep?
Easy keep. Yeah, this hand destroys them. And we probably even make them days to protect their threat. That is A-okay. We'll grab our basic planes. And we will plow. You want, basic planes into plow.
So let's see how you play this. I don't remember. If I would guess, yeah, I don't know. Could be, I mean, there are 3 lines, right?
Well, I mean, the main thing is that you want them to daze this, to take themselves off expressive iteration and slow down their entire game plan. And then you want them to slam a 2nd threat like a Delver and then be like, hey, Porphyry Nodes. After they failed to, yeah. So, yeah, I think you've given them too much time here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, playing around days is just not worth it if the other land is just going to get wastelanded. Like, it's not really progress.
Right.
So even a plow on the end step, I would have been fine with.
And we get rewarded.
This is very good.
Yeah.
Now we can play a plane.
And this is kind of tricky. I mean, you want to play the planes, but you also want untapped blue mana, right?
Yeah, let's see if they wasteland it.
On the other hand, if they
Imagine
wasteland it, they
they-
set themselves back.
Yeah, I guess you could do Hall of Heliod's. Hall of Heliod's is fine. Threaten to Fairy, do some stuff. So this will be a plow turn, yeah. And we are definitely, that's
You don't
an
like that.
interesting way to do it.
Yeah, well,
Your QR at 16. I guess it's fine.
yeah,
Sure,
and
they
it
don't-
also
they
it
don't
has the added benefit of him not being able to deploy something next turn.
Yeah. It does stop a Murktide, I'll give you that. But yeah, I still, want to open this game up with Plow in today's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear you. And here, I think
Here you're going to play, ooh, nice, Plains, and play a Relic and pass. Or I guess Relic will activate. Not detonate, but activate.
Mm-hmm.
And now he is under a huge amount of pressure. He has to cast his Murktide right now.
Yeah. And that's fine because we'll plow it, and if we can't...
Yeah,
well,
honestly, if he's stuck on one land, we would even just Teferi it first, see what he did, and then plow it afterwards, playing into days.
Okay, let's see how I
So
did
we can
this.
verdict it.
Yeah, I just...
That's fine. Yeah, you got verdicts for days.
yeah.
Yep, keep hitting his graveyard. Hurt him, hurt him, hurt him. That's very good. Excellent. It's a huge hit. Brazen Borrower, their best card,
Yeah.
out of the picture. Do this while they're tapped out. I agree with that. Oh, no, I don't like that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't think you are in any pressure to be doing that. I think that you are A-okay if they want to play a Murktide. Again, you actively want them to do your job for you. You want them to waste all their graveyard to cast a Murktide into a very obvious verdict, and then after the guys in the graveyard, just tap your relic and then exile the Murktide.
Okay.
So be like, okay, and we have control of your graveyard for the rest of the game, and you'll never escape. So that was a really bad crack of relic. That's you'd be very lucky if that does not cost you.
Well, it doesn't in this particular game. So I'm gonna aggressively stifle any lands, of course.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, hard cast force is
Pretty
nice
good one.
too. And at that,
Yeah,
nice.
Forecast Force has died today, so that one's not worth it yet.
Wasteland.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even just not even cast the Wasteland.
Yeah. It's very tempting,
Um,
though. It's very tempting.
Yeah,
I mean, we have his next fetch lands all sorted already. He's not.
I'm just thinking about hitting him with the Hull of Storm Giants
Yeah.
for every time he fails to find the land.
The second one that would have been a brainstorm otherwise, and I would have wanted to find a land anyway.
Yep.
So
I think Ordawara at this point we would just be holding in our hand. Was he surgibling?
Wasteland.
Sure, buddy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So he saw what we had in hand.
Need opponent.
So get fetch, find a land. I think no Sevins.
Oh yeah, I see you just get a scroll of fate. Seems
Uh,
reasonable.
I don't remember. I got the land, so I can start whacking
Oh, I
him.
see. You're going all in on that. Stifling to protect. I see.
Well,
It's fine.
I don't think we can lose this game anymore.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah, and then just next turn. Yeah, you'll get the scroll of fate next turn with.
Yeah. So that was very clean. Okay.
Yeah, I think the relic use was really loose.
Okay.
Just you were under no pressure to crack that relic.
I guess I just wanted to cement the fact that we were ahead, I guess, and if he had the Murktides in his hands, they would just rot there. But yeah, I hear you.
That's the thing right there. They would have rotted for a little while, or they're going to rot for the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And you chose to rot for a little while, so they could have very easily killed you that game through two with very good draws, yes, but they could have killed you through two verdicts because you had the inability to continually check the graveyard because you just
Sure.
randomly threw it away.
Well, I mean, the context was me with 4 or 5 lands and they with 0 or 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it was just beating up someone who's lying down, right?
Yeah, but you could have just held the pillow over their face
Yeah,
and gone
sure.
after the graveyard too, and just make sure they had absolutely nothing.
So again, game 1, first hand not keepable, of course. This one's good.
Oh, this is a great hand. Let's get rid of the Karn though.
Oh, I think I would send a land back.
Oh, okay. You can do a land. Caracas is not one you send back. So you're saying that you want to send back Odawara?
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. I don't know. I think that Karn's a long ways off. I
Sure.
don't know. That's a tough one. You could play it either way.
Mm.
Yeah. The important thing is that Caracas has not given up. Caracas has to be there because of Reanimator, because of Show and Tell.
Agreed. I kind of probably just thought that, mix of land and spells is good. Too many lands, not great. So, okay. Third Delver in a row. So I just play it, hope for possibly days. No days.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
So I put back the Caracas because I don't think that one's
And so
necessary.
you do actually need raw mana, so you can't really afford to fetch them away. This is a fetch pass. Do not crack it.
Yeah, I don't think I do what you want, especially with the Wasteland out, But we do have the Tundra, though.
You still need it. You still need just raw mana.
Yeah, I hear ya. Okay, yeah. So I think we get fucked by this. So you were obviously right.
That's a very good one, but now it's going to get dazed. Yeah, those are the things you have to watch out for against Delver.
Yeah. Yeah, not finding your lands is the real killer, isn't it? So we find Odawara again.
No, I don't like what happened there.
Okay, you wanted to play the Ascanta? Or
Teferi? Yeah, I would have played Ascanta there. I think it's more important to control your top of deck from this position and take the 1 damage.
Yeah, it's not only taking 1 damage, though. It's also drawing a card, right? Digging deeper for the...
Yeah, does draw a card, but Ascanta was going to draw very quickly, too. Or draw through to the right card very quickly.
Okay, so he gets back...
They made me dial. Congratulations.
Yeah. We find a land. So how do we play this?
This is Teferi to Torak.
Seems like I agree.
Hit your force of will right now. Thank you, sir. Good. We got rid of days.
And now he has a brainstorm, but no fetch land. Ponder, I mean. Okay. Well, that's a bit better. Okay.
Alright, so what are we doing next? We're trying to find a way to use this Ascanta profitably, but we're kind of in this position where we have to go for Teferi again. Yeah, and Teferi Bounce can find a land, which can then cast our Ascanta through days, because we have Teferi passive.
So here I get a bit greedy. I brainstorm to find the next land. I do find it. So what do we send back?
You're going to switch gears. Okay, so they're at 1 card in hand. Honestly, I'm still going to cast a Teferi. I'm going to play that land. I'm going to cast Teferi and try to bounce the Delver. I'm going to shuffle away a Brainstorm. I don't want to see one of those again for the rest of the game. And I think that we can even get rid of a Karn because we're just not going to need it.
So Karn, I agree with. I think, I don't remember what else I sent back. I sent back the Ascanta. And
again, Ascanta is a more valuable card than Brainstorm.
So I go for the bounce, as you said. Sevens is nice. Because that
They
means...
will lightning bolt, and our Teferi will get it back. Just keep bouncing their Delver, but this time a standstill is going to come down, and then we'll just wait, bide our time.
There's Brainstorm and possibly a Murktide, I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, they're allowed to have a Murktide. We'll just bounce that back to their hand.
Yeah.
With a Teferi. Out of Wasteland, even better.
How do we play this? So Sevinces are given.
Yeah. So let's see how to do this. We have a Scroll of Fate. That's kind of cool. We can do that. So we have a Wasteland. So we're going to play the Wasteland. We're going to play Scroll of Fate.
I go for the Sevins first. It doesn't really matter.
This is reasonable.
Yeah.
We'll keep our 4 Teferi. We'll bounce their Murktide.
And the ordering
And now this is...
doesn't matter since we have the this Teferi in play, I guess.
Yeah, Teferi they have to attack, and if they attack on the ground, they lose the game.
Yep.
So they have to randomly rip. Yeah, we've used all of our mana. Daze is offline. Now they can't attack Teferi. They're going to kill a Brainstorm.
They
And
attack.
by kill a Brainstorm, I mean lose their guy to a Brainstorm. Just Delver not reading.
So what do you put in?
Brainstorm. Worst card in our hand.
And let's see what we do. I agree with you. And he wants to
Yeah,
bolt,
you can't do that.
but he can't. So that sucks
This
for
is
him.
you got to play to win, opponent. Got to play to win.
And here is an interesting one because, well, now he
Ooh,
bolts.
that's the wrong.
That's fine because you think it's a Dreadnought, but it's not. And here he plays the Murktide.
Yeah, and you
And-
can just bounce Teferi again. Like,
Yeah. So you and me, we talked through this line before, but let's just see it play out, and we can talk about it afterwards. Because I do choose another line, right? So
yeah. Do we have dress down anywhere?
no.
Okay. So we don't have dress down.
So I'll just we'll look at my line and then we can discuss what, because I think you have a better line. But I went for the
Okay.
Karn, and then I went for the Standstill, I think. I got a Crypt, got it down.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
But now I'll just tell you my reasoning, and we'll see. Okay, so
Okay.
I was thinking, okay, a 4/4 Murktide is never gonna raise a 12/12 Dreadnought. He's out of cards, and Planeswalkers, they're just gonna be cushions for his. He's gonna attack them. They're juicy little targets, so they're gonna be basically life gain. The Crypt is just something that I could play for 0 mana because I needed all the mana. So this was my reasoning. And your line would have been what?
So my line is, let me double check here. What are the permanents that are invincible in our graveyard besides lands?
So let's have a look. We have Flooded Strand, Tundra, Flooded Strand, Teferi, Flooded Strand.
Okay. Alright, so let me count the mana here. That's boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah. So my line is uptick Teferi.
Mm-hmm.
After that point, I would, especially with them at 0 cards in hand, I would crack the fetch and grab our other island.
Mm-hmm.
I would wasteland them off one of their red sources.
Yeah.
This would leave us with 6 mana on the field with the Otawara.
Yes.
And then I would just, with the Teferi upticked, I would just pass the turn.
Okay.
So you've got 6 mana up, you've used a wasteland, Sabine's instant speed is online.
Mm-hmm.
And then just let him attack.
Mm-hmm.
and then see what he does. Because if he goes after Teferi before Teferi dies, I'm just going to cast Sabine's at instant speed,
Get
grab
it
a
on.
second Teferi that he's not attacking,
Yeah.
put that into play, and then put a Wasteland in, and then waste him off red.
Mm-hmm.
Or waste him one land closer to being off red.
Yeah.
And then Karn will destroy his last red with on the next turn with Rishon Porting.
Yeah. Fair.
Or Crucible does it too.
I think we were so much ahead, I don't think it mattered. I mean, this line worked out. He kills Karn, we get a Dreadnought in, and he scoops, I think.
Yeah. Your line just like cuts a little bit close on 2 bolts, which you would have time and the resources to cast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but even 2 bolts only amounts to 10 mana, right?
10, yeah, right.
Yeah, 10 damage,
You would
yeah.
need something else.
Yeah. So I think either way we were fine. Then we play game 2. And let's
The
see.
one thing I will say about that, he does not attack Karn.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of in trouble then, because he does have that extra 4 damage on your life total.
Sure.
It can become a little bit more treacherous. Yeah.
So let's see. Yeah, this time I do the sideboarding, as I said, 2 Force of Negation, 2 Dreadnoughts, and a Scroll of Fate out. So I think this is how I want to sideboard against Delver generally.
Yeah, and again, you still want that engineered explosives.
Yeah. Okay. Game 2, not a great hand.
This is one hand where I'm glad that Odawara is not a brainstorm.
Yes.
It's kind of the running theme of these leagues.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But we can't keep, right? No.
Yeah, that was a pretty risky keep. You are up a game and on the
Mhm.
draw.
Yep.
You could keep it.
Yep.
But this will work just fine. Here
Yeah.
you get rid of Scroll of Fate.
Yeah, I'm going for the I keep the spells and yeah, I don't know. I don't want to have I don't want to flood out, I guess.
Okay.
Would you plow here?
No, there's no benefit to plowing. We don't have a follow-up that we would want to get through days.
Yeah.
They're on the play, so they would just replay it and we'd still be playing into days. Days number 2 anyways. This is allowed. That is allowed.
Okay, so we need to kill one of them.
Yep. I agree with this.
Even if we have the
You can wait
verdict.
till their upkeep to do it.
Yeah.
Just play around force negation, but
Yeah.
if they want to force negation that, I think they're losing. So I like making that play into force negation, because that would be a good trade for us.
Yeah, it's just since they have the turn, I didn't want to give them the scry.
Oh, the extra stride thing, yeah.
So we go for the scroll into
Yeah,
days.
and this just doesn't like serve much of a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of why I didn't like it in the opening hand, because it just eats the days, and
Yeah.
we didn't need it to. I mean, it does keep them off of expressive iteration for a turn. That's kind of cool, but
And here it goes for the Dragon Rage
There's the yellow.
Chandler. And here is the big mistake in this match. The biggest one anyway. Because now I see, okay, there are 2 creatures, let's just fucking kill them.
yeah, no, this is bad. This is a
Yeah.
wasteland.
Yeah.
And hold up march. And then you march the Delver, not the DRC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is real bad.
Yeah, this is how I lose the game. So if I
Yep.
would have gone for the other, because now I can't deal with a Murktide, and I never draw an answer to the Murktide, so it just kills me in 2 turns. So
And you also killed, both the wastelands in your hand,
yeah.
which otherwise had a plan.
Mm-hmm. So that was just sloppy, for no reason. So
And like it can be easy to like slip into that kind of thought process where it's just like, but I'm taking 3 a turn and they're going to double bolt me, but it's like, yeah, but Wasteland says not so fast on the bolting. The other thing is that when you exile the Delver, what's going to end up happening is they are going to, whatchamacallit, they're not going to get Delirium easily.
no. So game 3, beautiful hand. So get a basic island out.
Oh, island, for sure.
We have the perfect Stifle Wasteland hand with some swords to back it up. Sure.
Dang, he's dead. This is too much mana development versus the Daze deck. They are toast. We're going to Wasteland you again, just to stay up 2 mana.
So standstill and then Wasteland.
Oh yeah, and still first. Give them the option to pick their land up.
Yeah.
Although I probably would have been a little bit more merciless and wasted him first and then cast the standstill. There's the Shame Island.
Yep. So now we are just cruising.
And now their graveyard's dead because of Relic, so they've lost the game. It's amazing how dead they are to Relic.
Yeah. And
I like to use the March. That's important to talk about. You're saving the plow for the Murktide. And then we're going to attack Murktide on the back end by eating the graveyard.
so we do the same thing again.
Yep, and again I would Wasteland them just out of spite.
Yep.
Yep.
So they can never come back from this, of course.
Yep, and now they're discarding while the Murktide is eating them alive. Yeah, here you do not play the Wasteland. That's the worst thing you could do.
Yeah, and I do, because I thought he needed the mana, but they don't use that mana for anything.
Yeah.
I don't think it really matters, but it's sloppy
I mean,
play.
the thing is that Relic is doing critical damage,
Mm-hmm.
and that's your win con. It's that good against them.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't even plow here. This is I love this play. Yeah, like here's a Dreadnought. Do something about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're doing there because you didn't want to play the Porphyry Knights. You want to go for the Dreadnought. Yeah, so this is reasonable. So here you would Brainstorm just to see if you hit another Dreadnought.
And I could just go for the...
Yeah, that's fine. And again, it's fine to get that on board as well. Because if you were to draw the next Dreadnought, it's still coming down anyways.
Mm-hmm. Because I can... oops, that's a Stifle.
Yep, got him.
And I don't remember if I brainstorm and then set just to see if I can find another Dreadnought, or did I bring it out? Yeah, I brought it out, so I don't know why I didn't brainstorm. I just brought in the nodes for some additional pressure.
Oh, nice, and you have the Otawara. It's real good.
Yeah, so he can have his Murktide, that's fine. Well, he can't, but he could if he wanted to. And that's it.
Nice.
So that was nice.
That's a good game.
That was a pretty nice one.
Yeah, that was a good game.
And then final game is gonna be the messiest of them all. Part of the thing is playing for 5-0 always makes you a bit jittery in your
more on edge, a little jittery.
Yeah, definitely. So this is fine.
Yeah, don't love this hand, but it's fine.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. It's
Yeah.
not great.
Against a non-wasteland deck, this thing's it's a banger.
Yeah.
Against Saga, it massacres them. They were doing that.
Okay, so I'm like, fuck, another Delver. Alright. And there's the
And
wasteland.
now you know it's over because you saw the wasteland. Yeah.
Mhm.
9 round days. Sure. It's good. It's good. It's good.
So now we can brainstorm end step possibly, or beginning of our
Yeah,
turn.
and you definitely, I think, I would say you even definitely have to brainstorm on the end step.
Mm-hmm. I don't. I go for the.
Okay. So now that just exposes your March to days,
Yeah.
which yeah. So yeah, definitely losing percentage points here by not brainstorming on the end step.
Yeah. I'm
And
just
there's no reason to
again
March.
very scared of. So let's march.
Okay, good. We are marching. Good.
Yeah.
I'll take out the Delver. Good. I would force pitch force. They have
Agreed.
1 card in hand. It's a
Yeah.
very winnable game.
Yeah, hit me all you want. That's fine. They come for us again. We make a shark.
I would make a 1/1 shark, yeah. I like baiting out Stifle beforehand.
Sure, that's a bolt.
Sure. Gain 3 life.
Yep. And still no.
Delirium. Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're exiling everything they do.
Yeah, so that's pretty nice. Okay, so we go for the Karn.
Card is the right call.
And we fetch what?
I
Scroll.
would grab a Relic there.
Okay.
Yeah, I would grab Relic. It puts a lot of pressure on him, yeah. And then you cast the Relic, right? You cast the Relic off of the Tundra.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can pay for days. And then you have the ability to instantly exile their graveyard so they can't kill the card without using a bolt, so you gain 3 more life.
And here we see black mana for the first time. So that's fun.
Yeah, Breath of Iteration. As long as this, well, even a Thoughtseize isn't that bad on this board.
I don't think I saw a Thoughtseize from his deck actually.
I bet you they run 1 at least.
Yeah, but he didn't find Delirium now either.
Yeah.
So I think I got the explosives.
Yeah, this is an engineered. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why it should be in your deck post board.
Yeah, it's a nice Karn target though.
Pop up. Yeah, definitely. But Powder Keg's also there.
So I get the.
Uh,
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
fetched.
yeah, missed fetch.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
there's the
pretty damaging.
Thoughtseize. And he goes for the
Yeah, the moment you
brains.
see Greg, just like, why would a Delver deck ever play black if they didn't have Thoughtseize in their deck?
Yeah, but he didn't take the Scroll of Fate. That's funny.
That is the worst thing he could possibly do. Leave us with shit he can't answer.
So making a ninja and facing out.
Oh, that's very
Whatever.
good. It's very cool. We're gonna make a 12/12.
Yep.
We're going to apply the 12/12 to your face. Savine's getting back. I like it.
Yeah, I figured. Just
May as well, yeah.
you know,
I
I don't
tried it.
want him to draw cards. So that was it was pretty smooth. First one.
Yeah. Yeah, they really screwed up that brains or that Thoughtseize by not taking Dreadnought. That's just even still they were toast. That Kaito was gonna die. They
Well, I
had nothing
think
to show for it.
they shouldn't have taken the Dreadnought, right? They should have taken the.
They should have
the
taken
scroll.
Dreadnought.
Oh yeah, not the scroll.
Yeah, you have to take Dreadnought because if they take the scroll, we just manifest it, or we just grab it right back with the Savines.
Okay.
So the only hope that they have is taking the Dreadnought because we can't return it from the graveyard to play.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so nice hand. And not great, but playable. So they develop. We get up planes.
There is a reason. There is there is not a reason to plow there.
I feel like
If you had a third land, you would think about it.
Mm-hmm.
right? Because your progression would be, I'm going to plow your Delver, pick up your land. I'm going to play a Mastery, pick up your land or do something. I'm going to play a Teferi, you're out of days.
So he flips again. He revealed a surgical extraction. That's funny.
I feel like he doesn't have a... what was I going to say? I feel like he doesn't have something.
So here I'm don't draw my third land, so I figured, okay, let's
You jam a standstill here.
oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
I think I shark just to
Oh no, that's the worst thing.
okay.
That's not good. That's going to be very hard to win this game. If this misses a land, you are very lucky. And even there, you can't even afford to really play the land. Because if they wasteland you, you're kind of in the same spot.
Sure.
I mean, yes, you go up by hitting a volcanic, but you're under such pressure on the life total.
Yeah. So I'm basically forced into playing into dazes and shit like that, I think.
Yep.
So the brainstorm is not bad. How would you play this?
Yeah. So here you have to play. You have to play a brainstorm, try to hit a plow. March will do with a land.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to need the Force of Will in our hands. Karn can go. Mastery is getting a little slow. Oh, we just pitched a good pitch card. Okay. Yeah, Standstill was our Force of Will exile.
Yeah. And here for some reason I wait. Don't know why.
Yeah, now they're playing into a hard cast Force Negation, but looks like they messed up. So we can go ahead and exile Delver.
I force this.
Right here, you want to be not. And again, you don't want to pitch Teferi. This is kind of the second time you've done it in these like 10 games.
Yeah.
And it kind of backfires. That's kind of one of the last resort things, and the last resort was pitch the Standstill.
Sure.
Yeah, it's I think incredibly ambitious to think Mastery can turn this game around. Until we do a significant amount of work.
Sure.
I agree with that exile.
So we get rid of the untapped mana.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
So
But you're still
yeah, because I don't want to
blocked by
play.
days. So you have to Savines, you have to Savines, have to Savines, have to Savines, have to Savines.
But we don't have.
Okay, now you have mana.
We don't have a Teferi.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were out of a land drop there.
No.
I thought you were passing away. I was like, oh no, you definitely cast Savines into the days there. So yeah, this is Teferi.
So
I think the
bounce.
damage has been done, but stay in the game for a bit.
Do you wasteland?
Absolutely not. You need the mana.
Yeah. Well.
Like you're going to draw a verdict or something.
Sure.
You play a wasteland like that.
So he thought the Savines was the draw. So we are forced to brainstorm again. Find another land and a march. That's good.
Yeah. And okay. So you need to put Dreadnought under a Mastery.
Yeah.
Because you have a manifest line coming up here shortly.
Mm-hmm.
So this you could still win this. You flip that Dreadnought, you gain a little bit of life. You're not dead, and you don't have to draw the Dreadnought. That's important. You must kill the Delver here for mana efficiency.
Yeah. So let's see. It goes after me.
Yep.
So we do that.
Good.
Okay. So his surgicals. What? The Savines. Okay.
That's fine. You hit the one of, and they got rid of. Again, our plan of manifesting a Dreadnought is fine, but not amazing. It's just clearing a brainstorm. Is all that was.
Auto War is nice because it gives us some protection. Swords is
Yeah.
nice.
What did they cast another surgical there?
No, they didn't do anything.
Oh, that was a Thoughtseize onto the surgical. Okay.
Yeah. So here I go for the extra land.
Let's see. You do that, save a life.
Yeah.
Honestly, I probably would have hard casted the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a higher upside. Because if they bounce it with the Brazen Borrower, they're not really getting ahead.
Sure.
And then you can plow it for 5 life or 4 life later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because this right here, yeah, you're kind of rewarding a Brazen.
Yeah. That's fair. Nodes is no good, but now we can start getting the beat down.
The other thing that you're doing here, though, is if they go for a Brazen, you
Mhm.
respond by plowing your own guy, and that means the Brazen can never be cast as a creature. You counter the instant side, goes to the graveyard.
Right. And gives us a bit of a cushion as well. There's a Murktide, that's fine.
Yeah, Murktide is reasonable. We can deal with that.
So would you deal with it with a Otavara or a Swords?
I would play a Porphyry Notes.
Really?
Yep. There is no reason to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, it's nice to use mana efficiently like that.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly is. It's just not necessary at this point in the game. Okay, so you have to plow.
Yeah.
That's really rough.
Yeah, that would have been 4 life, and yeah. So here's the humility, the mastery. So that's good.
Yep. Play humility, play humility, play humility, play humility.
I do not.
Yeah.
And
There's no reason to not play humility there.
Yeah, that was poor.
Because, yeah, like Murktide is going to be huge under humility now. And it was uncounterable.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that right here, you've done enough damage to yourself that you are probably unlikely to win if they have a single Force of Will. Very lucky. Okay.
Well, they needed
Yeah,
2,
keep going.
right? Because the humility would still be large. You're right.
Yeah, it's because he has counters on him.
Mm-hmm. Good
Yeah, so
call.
there's a couple of misplays there
Mm-hmm.
where I think that you just easily crush him.
Yeah. Yep.
Good time to make a creature.
Yeah. And
Good time to play a nodes. That's not necessary. That's a bad wish target.
yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be a powder keg that you don't need. You really kind of want that one to be a. If you have a wasteland in your graveyard, you want that to be a crucible.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a cursed scroll, even. A lot of things that could be. But yeah, crypt does less than nothing. Oh, and we still don't have humility. Okay, that's problematic.
Yeah. Here comes the nodes. So I do reach the same conclusion as you just a few turns later.
Yeah. Yeah, we just have a crypt doing nothing.
Yeah.
There's probably more value
Mm-hmm.
to that Dreadnought staying in your hand for a Brainstorm, because you want the Dreadnought to get manifest off the top of your deck so that you gain life when you flip it.
Sure.
So yeah, you should trade out. Yeah, go for a trade out here, because Murktide will die no matter what. Yep, that's good. And no matter what they play, it's going to die. Yeah, that's all very cool. You have a blockable 1/1.
Yeah, exactly. So, relic, curse
Yeah.
scroll.
Good.
Sure. I don't let him attack. I don't think so anyway. Or maybe I did.
Yeah, you can just make a dude and block. Or you can do this. It's all
Yeah,
the
I
same.
should have killed it before attacks though. Because now we can
Yeah,
draw a card by stifle the trigger.
that's fine.
Okay, iteration I guess. No, meltdown. Okay.
Track your... you can't because of Volt. Yeah,
Yeah, as I said, this was a messy one. I was, and time was also running away, so I didn't have time for game 3. So it was a mess. I should always have someone with me playing the final game because it's messy.
yeah. The good news is here that you got Mastery doing things. Again, you want to save the creature in your hand if you can. Okay, Scroll of Fate's very good because you can force triggers to gain life.
Yeah.
Because you have a dragon in your hand that you can flip. So if you make it one more turn, you're going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you can manifest your Prismatic Beast.
That's
Them drawing 3 cards.
that's I love this card. It's great.
Yeah, it's not good.
It was fun though. It was a good time.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you can
All right.
eat my
Roll
Vista,
Beast.
and I don't think I crack because I don't want to go down to 3.
Correct.
So Graph Tigger's Cage, yeah, sure.
Yeah, real good, bud. Okay, here, so you do have to, manifest a dragon. Because you're doing, let's see. Yeah, that's fine to do that.
I mean, that way we
Okay,
get the
and that's
extra
fine.
life.
And
Yeah.
the Graph Digger's Cage works against that.
So he
Okay, so
paralyzed.
we've got a problem here.
Okay.
We have a problem that you're not gaining life. You just gained 1 life when you could have got a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So a Scroll of Fate means a Stifle is a life. A Shark for 0 is a 1/1. So Shark is a life.
Sure.
Because you wait for those 2 to come down and then you flip the dragon.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Father Guy, nice.
No
Nice
thought save
thoughts.
for you. That was good. And now, fortunately, the game is over.
How? You're winning.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's not super much he can do. I mean,
Okay, so right there, you need to wish for a Dreadnought. Okay, good. At least you died. Your Karn, though, should be wishing for a Dreadnought so that you can force a gain 4 trigger.
okay.
That's
fair.
critically important.
Yeah. So it wasn't the cleanest matches. It's fun to watch them back, because in the moment when you're playing, it feels a lot different, right? Because you're making decisions, and it's not on perfect information, and even if you make the right call, it could go horribly, and you can make the wrong call, and it can go perfectly.
Yeah.
It's fucking hard
I
this
think
game.
in that last game, the points of differentiation are prioritizing the survival of your 4/4 dragon wasn't quite correct. I think what you want to do there is you want to say, okay, here's a Porphyry nodes into play, and they go, well, I don't want to attack you because if I attack you, you block with your dragon, and then my Murktide's the lowest power thing on the field, so you kill my guy. So you're just like, well, this is fine for me because, I do this, boom, I block, I plow my own guy, I gain 4 life, I've got this Teferi bounce option.
Mm-hmm.
The other issue is missing that kind of line with the Porphyry nodes is the failure to plow and gain life away from bolt range versus Brazen Borrower.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one was
Gaining
the
life
12
from
month script was
the.
just that
Oh
was
yeah.
it. Yeah, nothing.
Yeah. No, the Tormund script is very. Yeah, that's not. I don't know. I have that hard coded as well, so that I need to change that. I think I think Scroll of Fate is not as high on my radar as it is on yours, for instance. So I need to up that a little bit. But it's fun though. I mean, the deck feels good, and I do reach decent results at least. And still, there's so many decisions when we look them through that can be improved upon. So I think this deck can be very, very good. I think we can do a lot more 5-0s in the future. But it's hard. I mean, it's easy to afterwards, and we can discuss. But you don't have that time when you play, right? It's just snappy decisions.
Yeah, you don't have the time unless you have the experience on the deck, and then
Yeah.
you can get to those decisions kind of quicker. Because I'm still just like seeing this game for the first time, going, no, these are like the lines.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm not dealing with the stress of the Magic client. So
Yeah.
I'm like a paper player for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of stressful, and that gets in the way of what you're doing. But
Yeah.
when you play the deck enough, you start to think not about like what I can do with my cards, but what the opponent can do with their deck, because I know what's in their deck.
Yeah.
And I know that playing a Porphyry Nodes puts that Delver player in a bad position.
Sure.
I know that blocking and plowing my own guy puts him in an even worse position against that Porphyry Nodes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair. All right, man. We have spent quite a bit of time, but it's been great, and I'm gonna sample this and edit this and upload it during the week, but not tonight.
Yep. And then really quickly, you just posted another video earlier today. It was I'm not going to give away the result, but there was another league.
Yeah.
That was posted today. So look for that video as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool one as well. All right, man. GG's, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, GG's.